I need you to understand, overstand, understand. I need you to understand, overstand, and understand. Brother Jose.
Sí, señor, ¿cómo está?
Peace and love, good brother. You got any time to slide by today?
Sí, tengo 5 minutos.
As soon as possible. How soon can you get here?
15 minutos, 20.
601 East 17th Street, Wilmington.
Ok.
We're right around the corner from the Boys and Girls Club.
Sí, 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 comprende.
601
Sí.
East 17th Street, Wilmington, Delaware.
Comprende, sí. Puede, can I come now? Why are you sniffing? You sniff time? What's going on? Turn the heat down.
Yes, sir. I need you to look at two things, Brother Jose.
Okay.
The first thing is the HVAC unit on our small gym has to be switched out.
Sí, sí.
The company that produced the existing unit can replicate another unit.
¿Qué?
I just need to find a tech who is able to replace the unit when the new one has completed production.
Okay, no problema, no problema.
Which will take about 60 days, the company has told me.
¿Qué?
So I need you to look at it, let me know if you can do it, and what will the cost be for you to remove this old one, put the new one in, and the new one is going to look identical to the old one, but it's a more modern version.
¿Qué? No comprende.
We're going to buy the unit.
Okay.
Okay, so that's number one. I want you to look at that. Number two
sí,
is on the small school, Brother Jose.
Okay.
We have a roof unit that has to be replaced.
¿Qué?
We've already got the new unit produced. It is sitting in storage. But I have not been able to find a tech who can get the permit, block off the street, bring the crane, lift the new unit up on top of the school, tie it all in. So that unit has been sitting. It was delivered on November the 1st.
November?
And it's been sitting there for 3 months, Jose. So,
Tres?
And it's the same unit. All we did was order a replica of what's up there because it was custom made.
Pero no comprende, don't make no sense, my friend. Okay? You go where you want me to come. I can look, you tell me what you want.
I'm not sure because it went straight to storage, and I'll share with you where that is. But it's supposed to be identical. It's supposed to be identical to the one up there. It is at a crane yard, and I have the address. It's not far from the school.
Is a crane yard? you say crane yard, huh? you too funny.
Okay.
Huh? Sí, pero tú tengo the
yes, sir.
Huh? The money? You have the money? I got ¿cuánto? Tell me how much you pay.
No problem. No problem. I'm here waiting on you. Keep me posted.
How much?
Okay. Thanks, Jose. All
Hello?
right.
Hello? Hello? All right. Thank you so much for tuning on in. Cookers that's undefeated. A little bit to get into. Won't keep you too long. Thank you all so much for taking the time. Let's go. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG it's coming. 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 Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking. And you're right, Swagonito, to this day, Brother Jose has not been paid. I heard he went up there I have video of it. He went up there because he said he's on his way, 15 minutes. Thank y'all for tuning on. And I'm not going to keep you long today. There's a couple things I want to get into. I want to get into Umar's hypocrisy. Umar will run his mouth online. But at the end of the day, he don't want that smoke with nobody. I mean, he's disparaged so many black males, celebrities, athletes, actors, entertainers. He's done it to black women too, but his main target is black men, mainly because he's failed at so much in life. And so when he sees these successful men, he takes out his anger and frustration on them. So he's always targeting black men. And yes, he has targeted Dave Chappelle. He's called Dave Chappelle, and I have the receipt. He's called Dave Chappelle a bunny hopper. And his therefore, by proxy, Dave Chappelle's wife, who's Filipina, she's a rice bunny, according to Umar. Umar also called her white too, by the way, but Filipinos are not white. But that's just Umar spinning his narrative, which he does. And I have a couple of receipts we'll look at it with him disrespecting Dave Chappelle. He disrespected other people too, but then I also have pictures of him where he meets Dave Chappelle and he's cheesing from ear to ear. He turns into a fan, a super fan. He talk all that mess online, but he gets in the presence of Dave Chappelle, he's a groupie. He's King Kong groupie. But that's Umar. See, he'll run his mouth. By the way, he's gone after many black celebrities. Let's put together a quick list, shall we? Okay, I'm gonna put Dave Chappelle in here. He's gone after Shaq. He's gone after Charles Barkley. He's gone after Stephen A. Smith. Well deserved. Stephen A. Smith. He's gone after Kobe. Called Kobe a bunny hopper. Yeah. He hated Obama. He still hates Obama. I mean, his early videos when Obama was in office, Umar would go crazy, talking mad crazy about Obama. Umar wants to have that level of power and control. So when he sees a man who rises to that, this particular black man who rises to that level, he attacks him right away. Shannon Sharp, yes, until, right, Matt Cyan, he went after Shannon Sharp until Shannon Sharp had these allegations come out, then he defends him. So that's the caveat with Umar. He'll attack black men. Most of his rhetoric is negative towards black people anyway, but he'll target black men until, and he'll disparage them until they come up on some allegations of sexual misconduct, and then he defends them every single time. Right? People can ask the question, why? Yeah, he's gone after LeBron James and his kids. De Niro, Jones, come on. He's gone after, he just don't go after the celebrity. He go after their kids too. He went after LeBron James' son. And then when LeBron James' son had that heart issue, all of a sudden Umar, he wants to act all sedity. See, but that's Umar. See? He's a hypocrite in these regards. He'll talk all this mess online, right? There's hella Filipinos where Lennon grew up over there. A lot went to Morris. You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah. Peace. Yeah. Yeah, he was cheesing. I ain't gonna use that word, but he was cheesing so bad. Let me show y'all the picture. Because I got something else I want to show y'all though before we get it deeper into this. But there's 3 pictures I want to show y'all. Yeah, my sister, she went to Morris for a while. My uncle went there. He taught music there for a while too. This one. And my mom and dad, they went to Lincoln. Okay, my girlfriend in high school went to Lincoln too. Then she transferred over to my school. We was bad. Well, I tell you, no sense. Anyway, here's a picture right here. See, Umar, he'll disrespect Dave Chappelle. He'll disrespect Dave Chappelle's wife. But when he gets into his presence, he want to take a picture. This picture is from 2 days ago. Umar looking goofy. He's so goofy. And look at him cheesing. Boy, Umar was so happy. Look at this guy. He was so happy. But he was talking all that mess. Remember? He was talking all that mess. All right. we'll come back to all of that. Yeah, he did go after LeBron James. Yeah, Shannon Sharp, Nick Cannon. Yeah, he did. But until he gets on Nick Cannon's show, then he'd be all cheesing, right? Yeah, Umar, yeah, he's consistent at disrespecting black men and black women for that matter, and black children. But he's consistent at when he gets in the presence of black people that he's disparaged, all of a sudden he's cheesing. See? He's the modern day daddy. I don't even know what Daddy Grace is. Yeah, he went after Kobe and his wife, Vanessa. Yeah. Yep. He went after Roland Martin. Roland Martin's not my cup of tea. I don't like how Roland Martin did Umar, ambushed him on that show like that. I didn't appreciate that. That was wrong. I mean, it was good. I mean, it was good, you know, for the that's the most viewed Umar Johnson video is that video. It's got more views than the Breakfast Club interviews. Any given. Okay, respectively, if you understand what I'm saying here, respectively, you take any one of the Breakfast Club interview and the Roland Martin interview from the last time I checked, at least, this was probably about a year ago, had more views than any one of those videos, respectively. But I don't particularly care for Roland Martin. I don't like how he did, not just because of how he did Umar, but how he did Umar, that was wrong. Umar, he handled his own, he handled his business. He still was up there lying, talking about he's a descendant of Frederick Douglass. And I raised $700,000. We're going to get into that in just a moment, okay? He loves to shuck and jive when he needs a favor from people. Yeah, he'll call them uncle and all this stuff. You know, it's a manipulation. Yeah, he went after Freddie Gibbs. Yeah, he sure did. He went after Freddie Gibbs and Mike Tyson. Yeah. Period, Leonard, and that baby blue button. This, I'm not even supposed to be wearing this. This is for something else. But I can't find my shirts. I can't find them. I threw out a whole bunch of them. That's probably why, because I've had them for like 5 or 6 years. That's how I mean, I only have a few clothes in my closet. If you open it up, it's like this amount of clothes in there. Maybe about this amount of clothes. You know, but I had to finally throw stuff out. My wife has to force me to do it. And threw some out. I think I only have 2 other shirts I can wear. I got 1 pair of jeans. I need at least 3. Anyway. Right. Yeah, he does. He will defend degeneracy, but he will attack these same black men prior to these types of allegations coming out. Yep. Yeah, he can't stand light-skinned brothers that are honored by the black community. Yeah, that's another one of Umar his issues. He's a colorist. He's always had colorist ideals. I've even heard him call he called Barack Obama a quadroon, I think. Who talks like that? This was in 2000. My best estimate, because this is one of his older videos. It was an interview he did. I can pull it up inside my notes and tell y'all. I think this was in 2000. I want to say 2013. 2000. I'm gonna look it up. Let me pull. I should have had this up anyway. But yeah, he's a colorist. He's always had these issues with skin color, and it goes back to childhood. His great grandfather was a white Cuban. His father is light skinned, and Umar has these hangups. And Umar really thinks that he's dark skinned. He's not. I have a sister who's darker skinned than he is. So I don't know what he's just on some other stuff, you know. And it really don't matter. It really doesn't matter. But in his mind, it matters so much. It's childhood stuff for him. Let me see here. Okay, this is what I'm looking for right here. What did I say? Because he was using terms like octoroon and quadroon. Octoroon. I don't even know how to spell it. Octoroon, I think. See, I don't even know how to spell it. Is it R-O-N? No, it's not coming up. Quad. Let me see if this one. Yeah, quadroon right here. This was from 2011. Okay, 2011. Quadroon, octoroon. This is 2011 at the Black in Noble bookstore. He also used it in 2014. He also used it in 2000 another time in 2014. He was using terms like biracial, quadroon, octoroon, mulatto. This is from 2017. He disrespects Serena Williams in this. He probably was going at her husband or something like that, because I think they were married by that time. I'm not quite sure. He called Kamala Harris a quadroon. This was in 2018. Quadroon, mulatto, octoroon. This was 2018. And he was talking about Drake. Yeah, so he has a history of this stuff. He's a colorist, man. He still owes Freddie Gibbs a yeah, right. Umar, he can't bust a grape. Yeah, he went after Deion Sanders and Deion Sanders' family. He did. He sure did. Yeah, he can make content out of them. You're right. But the thing is, for him to go after the children, you would agree that's just beyond the scope. Really, he shouldn't be doing it anyway, because if he's supposed to be a black leader, why are you always attacking black people? He even had again, people can believe in who they want to believe in, but he will attack anyone. He even took it was like a subliminal shot at Minister Farrakhan. Minister Farrakhan ain't never said nothing about Umar. I'm sure he probably knows who Umar is, but Umar, that's how he is. He's a very jealous and envious type of a person, but he says everyone else is jealous of him. He stands inside the mama closet. But when you start going after people's children, okay, that's beyond the scope. People have done that with me. They've gone after my children, post my children's social media pages and told people to go look at their stuff and all this kind of stuff. It's just beyond the scope. It's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary, and it speaks to character, right? Shout out to Information Man too, by the way. Yeah, you're right, Drea. You're right. Umar, he always defends black men who are where allegations are made about sexual misconduct. He defends them. In fact, he even defend. I remember, we haven't covered this, but there's this young actor. He's in jail for, like, I think they gave him 25 years or something, 25 years to life, I think. His name was Kalen Walker, and Umar had him on twice. And he was an actor. He got 50 years to life in prison for SA. Well, Umar had him on, and you should have guys to see how Umar was placating. I just don't get. I don't get that at all. See, but that's what Umar does. Well, no, I do get it, Dre. You're right. Predators defend predators. Yeah, Umar is rolling. Yeah, and on a certain level, Tracy, you're right about that. He's going after Jay-Z. He's going after Beyonce, and then he was begging Jay-Z for a donation. Yeah, he went after Mike Tyson. Yeah. Y'all don't do that. Don't do that. No, I didn't go to Lincoln. My mama went to Lincoln. My dad went to Lincoln. My uncle went to Lincoln. Other family members went to Lincoln too, way back in the day. And then I have some while I was in. No, did I have any relatives at Lincoln? No, I don't think I have relatives at Lincoln. My uncle, he taught there. He taught music there for a while, because we used to go up there every once in a while and do music with him. But then he also taught for Morris for a while. My sister went to Morris. My aunt went to Morris. Other people too went to Morris. I had friends too from Morris because SCPA off O'Farrell, that was down the street from Morris. So yeah, and then they would have games. My sister went there. She graduated from there, and she had a boyfriend who played football. He's a running back. He was real good too. Yeah. But that area, it's a large Filipino population. And if y'all don't know, my grandfather on my mama's side is Filipino. Okay. So I want to say this, that my analysis here of Umar disrespecting Dave Chappelle's wife, it's not influenced by my ancestry. Okay. So that would make my mama 50%, and then I would be 25%. Okay. Now, Umar, that's why I always say, when Umar says things like rice bunny, he's talking about Asians. Filipinos are not there. Yeah, I guess Asian, but it's different because if you guys, well, we don't got to get into this. My grandfather was from Cebu. It's more complex than what most people realize. But in general, people kind of classify Filipinos as Asians. But the thing is that if Umar calls Asian people rice bunnies, and he calls white women snow bunnies, and then he calls, I guess, Latinas and or Mexican women or what have you as salsa bunnies, it's disrespectful for all the way across. It's disrespectful all the way across the board. The thing is that if we reverse that ideology, and it's a form of racism. And if, let's say, any other group of people were talking about black women and we're saying, let's say this white man, he's married to a watermelon bunny or a fried chicken bunny or a jungle bunny, because that's a term that was used back in the day. All of a sudden, it's racism. And all of a sudden, Black Lives Matter, and Umar, he's coming out the woodworks to try to, quote unquote, defend black women. Okay, so why the double standard? Okay, so I just want to be clear about this. It's disrespectful all the way across the board. Okay, Umar, he's just disrespectful to other groups of people, but the truth is he's disrespectful towards black people too. Okay. All right. Yeah, he did. Umar hugged him so tight. What you tap dancing and bus stopping. Okay. Do I think Umar get called out over this? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, Dave Chappelle could probably do a joke on it. I think if he's ever seen it. I haven't. I'm going to play it for you guys. I don't have all of them, but I have some of them. I'll play them for you guys during this live stream. How could Umar show his evil two-faced self in front of Dave Chappelle and smile with him after he called about he called him out or talked about him like a dog? Yeah, but that's Umar. See, that's Umar. Yeah, he is. He's an opportunist, that's for sure. How's it going, Sequoia? His head is so big. But okay, DD Matter, come on now. Okay. Looks like a big y'all stop it. Yeah, was he hugging with both hands? Let me see here. Yeah, that's a violation. That's a violation. That's a violation, Umar. You doing too much, okay? Yeah, he was like, can I get a couple of bucks? Okay. Butter biscuits. Y'all tripping. Yeah, I grew up in Lemon Grove. Yeah, we lived in our children. Was that Lemon Grove? No, that wasn't Lemon Grove. We were in Spring Valley, but my senior year, it was the end of my senior year because we moved during. Yeah, did we move during the senior? No, that's not right. The year I went to college, freshman year, my mom, she stayed in Lemon Grove. Was that right? No, that's not right. We were there before that. Yeah, right before. Anyway, yeah, but they had a mall over there called the Grove. I should go up there. Okay, let's get into it. Nick Cannon and Umar have something in common. Yeah. So, but Nick Cannon got money. Umar don't. All right. Umar loves opportunities to build his celebrity status to get more buns and funds. Yeah, and that's why he's always posting things about, let's say, Frederick Douglass or Marcus Garvey. So this was an opportunity, even though he disrespected Dave Chappelle and Dave Chappelle's Filipina wife. He takes this as an opportunity to build his celebrity. But he ain't nothing but a international hobo. He's been homeless since 2019. Yeah, he's gone after Michael Jordan. Yeah. And you know what's interesting? He's going after Michael Jordan, and from what isn't Michael Jordan's wife Cuban, right? I think she's a Cuban. Yvette Prieto. Let me see. She grew up in Miami. I think she's about my age. What in the world? Michael Jordan, anyway. She's a Cuban American model. Yeah, she is model for designer Alexander Wang and appearance in documentary Cuba and Island Apart her as herself. So Umar, he's gone after Michael Jordan for marrying Yvette Prieto, but Umar's ancestry is white Cuban. I can show you all the receipt. Should I do it? No, I'm not going to do that. But you know what I'm going to do? Who can I send it to? I can send it to somebody in chat, man. You guys can verify it. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up. I'm not going to show it, but I'm going to read to you what it says. Umar, he's such a hypocrite. Let's see here. I know I have it in, because I sent it to someone recently. I think I sent it to Fairchild. Yeah, here we go right here. Yeah, it's the petition for naturalization. And I think this is the one, because there's another. Yeah, this is it. So the petition for naturalization, this was in Philadelphia. I'm not going to read his name. Okay. Umar's daddy has the same name, his real name. Yeah, but it's from May 9th, 1935. Where does it say this at? Yeah, this isn't the document I was looking for, but it does say personal description as male and color white complexion. But there's another document. Oh, here it is right here. It says race is white, present nationality Cuban. All right. But I have Umar saying that this grandfather, great-grandfather, was Afro-Cuban. He's a liar. Jamal Johnson's a liar too. We caught him on a couple of lies yesterday during yesterday's live stream. But Umar, he says that this grandfather is Afro-Cuban. No, he's not. He's white Cuban, and he identifies as being white, as a nationality Cuban. Race is white. Okay, all right. Okay. What I want to do before we get deeper into this, yeah, he did. He sure did. Yeah, he just any kind of disrespect that he can throw out there, he'll throw out there. Yeah, that is very, very old terminology, but Umar, he still uses it. It's incredible. He was using it in 2024. Does anyone have? I have the video, but I can't remember which one it is. There's a couple of them. What's up, BB? And what's up, Seth? There's a couple where Umar says, I haven't raised $1 million yet. If anyone knows the name of that, or if anyone knows, if you have a link, can you email it to me at LenonHonor@yahoo.com? Okay, because there's something I want to show you guys, just to show you guys how much Umar is a liar, especially when it comes to this money. He's a scam artist. Remember when Umar called Sadie and Albino? Yep, he sure did. User 225 says, okay, but Dave Chappelle also fell off. LBF, I don't know what that means. For real? LBFR? See, you're probably young. That's what young people, I don't know. My wife, she knows this stuff. One time she said, you need to take texting classes or something like that. I don't even, it's not coming up. Let's see. If you can't tell the same joke you did 20 years ago, get some better jokes. Stop complaining about I don't know if he's still talking about, but he had a friend who was trans, from what I remember. Yeah. But that's Dave. If he got to be courageous, but he does. That's part of his thing. Hopefully he ain't going in like he used to. Thanks, user 225. What's up, Radiant Shadow? Thank you for being here. What's up, Sean? I hope you've been all right. I ain't seen you in a minute. Okay, is there a video where Umar made a statement about Minister Farrakhan? Yeah, there is. It was a backward shot at Minister Farrakhan, and actually there's two. The second one was in reference to the Million Man March. Umar was talking about how we're going to do a real one. I'm going to put together my own. It's going to be a real Million Man March, not like in the past. I said, what? But then he took a shot. It's an older video, and I have it. As I've gone back through these older videos, he's gone after a lot of people. He's careful though too. With Farrakhan, it's not blatant, but you can tell because Umar, he wants to see himself on that level. He wants to see himself, and when he sees people who are on that level, he attacks them. That's part of what Umar does. He has a history. But there's two videos. One of the videos is Umar, because he's saying that he wants to do his own Million Man March, and he says it's not going to be, and it's going to be a real one, not like the old. But see, I was thinking to myself, yeah, but Umar went to the first Million Man March. Y'all know that? See that? Such a hypocrite. Dave Chappelle is a father, and I wonder if he knows how Umar Johnson treated his own daughter. Probably not. He probably doesn't know that. He probably doesn't know Umar is a scam artist either when it comes to this FDMG school, right? He probably doesn't know that Umar's disrespected his Filipino wife. He probably doesn't know that. Hopefully one day he will. The thing is that in my mind, Umar probably saw that as an opportunity, like someone said earlier, it's an opportunity for him to build his clout. But I don't think Dave Chappelle looks at it as if he's trying to build his clout, because Dave Chappelle, he seems more like not to say it, not in a negative way, but more of a recluse. Like he ain't trying to be all out in front and all voice. I mean, he does his thing. That's his profession. He's one of the greatest of all time at what he does. But he's not out in the public eye. I don't think his wife is like that either. And I think they keep their children protected too. From a lot of the glitz and the glamour and stuff. Umar, on the other hand, he seeks the attention, and he's addicted to it. So in my opinion, Black Anonymous, I don't think Dave Chappelle saw this as an opportunity to build his own clout, because he's one of the greatest of all time. He doesn't need Umar. It just doesn't work that way. But Umar, on the other hand, anytime he can get with a celebrity, including the ones that he disrespected online, and he can take a picture and take a selfie and be cheesing like this, he's going to take that opportunity. For him, because it helps him to build his credibility, if that's what y'all want to call it. Look at this guy. That's a violation. He got the two hand. He got the two. Let me stop. Thank you, Black Anonymous, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, Filipinos are generally classified as Asian, specifically Southeast Asian. The term Pacific Islander typically, yeah, you're right about that. I think Pacific Islander is more accurate. Yeah, Pacific Islander. That's what I would say. But yeah, no, that's what it is. That's what it is. And my grandfather, I think he passed away. I was maybe 6 or 7 or something like that. Yeah, it was probably 6 or 7, if memory serves me correctly, when he passed away. But I remember him. He used to go every time. You know, he had a stroke, and he was in a bad car accident. And then he had a stroke, and so he couldn't get around all that well. And we used to run by he used to sit on the couch at my grandmama's house, and we run by the couch and go like this on top of his head because he had a bald head, and he would get so mad he couldn't get us. You know, we was bad. He couldn't get up and get us, and he'd be like, "Psst." And that means to stop what you're doing when they do that for the Filipinos. Anyway, okay. And then my mother's mother, she's from her ancestry comes from the Cape Verde Islands off the coast of West Africa. All right. And real pretty too. Like the blend is just really, really pretty. That's what I was telling my wife today. I said, when these boys, when they get there, let's talk about one of my sons. When he get his girlfriend, I said, she better not be ugly. I said, we don't play that. I said, no, I'll just say it. The bit of my family, we be picking some fine ones. That's what we do. Okay. Okay, let's get in, because what I want to share something with you all. Let me get a little sex also says, I think he attacks celebrities for attention. Yeah, in his mind, he's important, and attention to people who think they're important is powerful like a drug. Any response he gets just validates his importance. Yeah, it's almost as if Umar is like a troll to celebrities. He wants them to respond to him. And it's true. You're absolutely right about this, little set. Because in the past, when someone like Freddie Gibbs responded, Umar, he gets excited. He enjoys that. Same thing when Tariq Nasheed finally went back at Umar. Even though Tariq roasted, he destroyed Umar. I mean, that when he roasted Umar, that was a classic. Umar still likes that attention, even if it puts him in a position where he looks bad. He just feeds off that because it's attention. That is really what it is. This is a narcissism. He has to have attention no matter what. So this is very true with Umar. It's like a drug. And I've noticed that, like, there are people that's why they're online. They do whatever they can just to get the person to go back at them. And I've had people try that with me. I just, I ain't got no time for that. See? But and then why give them what they want? See? So Umar, he's the same way. He doesn't do that to your average person. He does that towards celebrities. That's the point. He will do that towards celebrity because he wants that level of attention. If they acknowledge him, then for Umar, he feels validated, like he's on that level. Umar is like he's a black conscious troll for the celebrities. That's what he is. And yeah, it is. It's like a drug for Umar. The narcissism, he feeds off of that. He really does. See, if Umar didn't have anyone to disparage, any black people to disparage, what will be left in his message? Because mostly he talks about black people. He disparages black people. And if that all stopped, okay, we put together a brief list. I actually have a list we put together many years ago. If he had to stop doing that, what would he talk about? He can't talk about the school because there is no school, right? Yeah, any response, it validates his importance. You're absolutely right. That's really what this is. Yeah, very, very astute observation there. Thank you, Lil Stuck, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Did I get to all the super chats? Then I want to get into user 225 says Umar Johnson is a cloud chasing wannabe celeb with no morals. Yeah, he would have been first in line slurping cocktail shrimps at the Diddy parties if he could have. Yeah, I have a video where Umar says that Diddy knows him very well. Did you not? Let me see if I have it in these notes. It's let's see. Well, I do have it where he disrespects Diddy, he disrespects LeBron, he disrespects Oprah, he disrespects Jalen Rose. But then when Diddy gets all these charges, then he starts to defend Diddy. See? Let me see. This video is from 2017. Yeah, this is where Umar says you can't take advantage of a woman if they are older than you. Don't make me pull it up. What video is this anyway? Umar, that's predator talk. This is from 2017. This is when he was in Japan. But he brings up P. Diddy. I'm trying to see if I think this is it right here, where he says that P. Diddy knows him. He knows me. Well, he knows me well. I don't think so. That's just Umar, like Louis Tucker was saying earlier. He's just cloud chasing. Yeah. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in my notes where he mentions Diddy. So it's one of these. I would just have to go through to find out which one it is. He also defended Deshaun Watson. Yep. R. Kelly, Bill Cosby. Yeah, he did that in 2021 on the Breakfast Club. Yeah, he defended P. Diddy in 2024. Anyway, thanks, User 225 for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay, what I want to do before, User 225 also says, Umar Johnson voice, Daddy, thank you for the, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That is wild. That is wild. Okay. I want to do something before we get into this. I want to share something with y'all because I ran across it today and I've been looking for it for a while. Umar in 2024, he stated that he hadn't raised $1 million yet. He also said it in 2024 that he hadn't raised $1 million. He was on, I think it's called the Up There podcast or something like that. I gotta find the video and I'll find it when I get to it in the timeline for the documentary. But if anyone knows the videos that I'm talking about, please email them to me, or links or the titles of them if you know them to LenonHonor@yahoo.com. But I found this video where Umar brings up how much money remember, I've been telling people that Umar, he stated that on average he raises about $125,000 a year. He's been, and this is starting in 2014. So 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So it's 10 years. And really, it's actually 11 years if we go based upon the timeline, because he started raising money in the spring of 2014. Now we're in the spring of 2025. So it's 11 years altogether. Keep that in mind. But do you guys remember when I told people that Umar, he states that on average, he raises $125,000 a year. Now, this is because after 2014, we get into the middle of 2015, I have Umar on record stating that he's already raised $500,000. Obviously, that's more than $125,000 a year. But at a certain point, the money trickles down and it simmers down. Umar claims that he's only collecting $125,000 a year. Anybody remember me saying $125,000 a year? Please hit the 1. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull this up and do this again, just to set the stage for what I'm going to share with you guys to show that Umar, he's a con man. And he's lying to people about how much money he's collected. Let's go to Umar Johnson donation timeline. All right. Thank you, Big. What's up, Big Pat Roll? Thank you so much for hitting that one. I appreciate it. Okay. And Par B, how you doing? Let me do a screen share right quick. We'll do an entire screen. Right here. Here we go. And Jonathan Kennedy, Black Anonymous. And Shay, what's up, Sasha? And what's up, Last Call, and Seth, and Jimmy Jamboree. Okay, let me do the screen share. Let me show this to y'all right quick. I know I've done it before, but this is, I'm sorry, this over. This brother Jose. Okay, so I've shown this many times. Let me just go through this real quick. 2014 to 2016, by the end of 2016, Umar said that he had raised $1 million. By the way, Umar started collecting, started in 2014. And then by the end of, let's see, 2014, because it was a year and a half, 2014, 15, 2016. Yeah. So it's really the beginning. By the beginning of 2015, 2015, Umar said he had raised $500,000. And then by the end of 2016, Umar stated that he had raised $1 million. Okay, if that makes sense to people. But I just want to be clear about this. The numbers are all over the place, right? If it takes Umar a year and a half to raise $500,000, then it takes Umar a half of a year to get to $1 million? Something to think about. Okay, I'm gonna take this off here. I'm gonna break all this down inside the documentary. But from 2014 to 2016, by the end of 2016, Umar states that he's raised $1 million. He also stated, I've been telling people that he was stating that he's after this period of time, he starts saying that he on average he's collecting $125,000 a year. So between 2017 through 2018 is $250,000. So from 2014 to 2018, we're at 1.25 million. Okay, 1,250,000. Okay, and then in 2019, he purchased these abandoned buildings. We're going to take $1,250,000, subtract the $400,000 for the alleged purchase price, even though he never provided any receipt on that. And we get to $850,000 that should have been left over in 2019. All right. So Umar should have been sitting on $850,000 in 2019. Then he continues to collect money from 2019 to 2024 at $125,000 a year. We get to $750,000 more dollars. And then we can take what should have been left over in 2019, $850,000, and add the $750,000, and we get to $1.6 million total raised after purchasing the school. Okay, but then if we put back in the purchase price, we add that to the $1.6 million, we get to $2 million from 2014 through 2024. All right, now watch this. Umar is still saying in 2014 and in 2024 last year and in this year 2025 that he hasn't yet raised $1 million. He's still saying it. Look what I found though.
Peace and Black Power family, good morning. Peace and Black Power family, good morning.
I'm gonna let this play.
Peace and Black Power family, good morning. This is Dr. Umar Johnson, the Prince of Pan Africanism. I'm only going to be with you about 10 minutes. I have to get ready to go into the dentist's office for a teeth cleaning. Good morning to all my fellow North Philadelphians. Good morning to West Philly. Good morning to Southwest Philly, South Philly, Germantown, Mount Airy, West Oak Lane. Shout out to Darby, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Allentown, Sharon Hill, all of my Pennsylvania family. Good morning to you from the Pennsylvania Pan.
Yeah, and it depends on because the native Filipinos are black too. I met one in the army. They're darker skinned Filipinos and lighter skinned Filipinos. It depends on where you're at too, because that's why a lot of Filipinos, they talk Spanish. They talk Spanish over there because the Spaniards, they came through and it was all kinds of atrocities back there. But you guys can even look it up for yourself. I think it's called Mindanao, I think, something like that. I'll go look it up on my answer. I'll come back. I'll be right back.
Africanist. Good morning, Texas, Houston, and Dallas. Good morning, Boogie Down Bronx and Brooklyn and Harlem and Staten Island and Queens. Good morning to Trenton and Camden. Good morning to Newark and Elizabeth City. Good morning to Baltimore and DC, to Richmond and Norfolk and Hampton. Good morning to Los Angeles and San Diego and Oakland. Good morning to Detroit, Chicago, Flint, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo. Good morning to Milwaukee and good morning to the family in Omaha, Nebraska, Little Rock, Arkansas, Jackson, Mississippi, Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, St. Martin, St. Vincent, St. Croix, to Bermuda, the Bahamas, the United Kingdom, Birmingham, UK, Ghana, Nigeria. I'm coming back to Nigeria. November 21st, November 22nd. I will be there.
Yeah, so real quick, I'm just looking on my ancestors. Central and southern Philippines call much of the Visayan, I would say Visayan, but it's Visayan and Mindanao. That's what it is, the second largest island. But my grandfather was from Cebu.
Okay, the economic conference being hosted by PLO Lumumba. PLO Lumumba and the Prince of Pan-Africanism on the same stage. Nigeria, get ready. Nigeria, get ready. Abuja, get ready for the Prince. I've never been to Abuja. I've been to Port Harcourt. I've been to Lagos. I've been to Enugu State, but I've never been to Abuja. I'm coming home.
What are you talking about, Umar?
Nigeria. But this is what I wanted to share with y'all. FDMG update.
Here we go.
FDMG update. First of all, some of you in the Loyal Donors Club have not sent me the receipt of your Loyal Donors Club transaction so I can add you to the Loyal Donors Club WhatsApp chat. If you register as a loyal donor And I'm so thankful for those of you who have. If you've registered as a loyal donor, screenshot your registration receipt and text that to me in WhatsApp so I can add you to the FDMG.
See, he should have all this information himself. It just goes to show he's not organized. But it's not about being organized, it's about getting people's money. That's what it comes down to.
Loyal Donors Club chat, brothers and sisters.
Y'all tripping.
Okay, sign up for the Loyal Donors Club. Go to drumarjohnson.com, click on bronze. If you can do $50 a month, go to drumarjohnson.com.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Spanish, they called them to that. That's why they're called negritos. Yeah, you're right about that. You're absolutely right about that.
If you can do $100 a month, go to drumarjohnson.com and click on gold. If you can do $250 a month, go to drumarjohnson.com and click on platinum. If you can do $500 a month, go to drumarjohnson.com and click on diamond. If you can do $1,000 a month, brothers and sisters. Don't forget 10% off all Ifa Tunde apparel until 11/11/20, the 189th memorial of Nat Turner's execution, brothers and sisters. Join me in Nat Turner Land, Virginia. So the passcode to get your 10% discount off of Ifa Tunde apparel at drumarjohnson.com. The passcode is up.
That sounds like a scam.
Rise. The passcode is uprise. The passcode is uprise. So this is what I want to say. FDMG update. Okay, Loyal Donors Club, they get special updates that y'all don't get. Loyal Donors Club WhatsApp group, they get special updates that you all don't get. Good morning to you, Sister Nisi. Good morning to you. Okay. Also, I'm going to be starting the For Sisters Only podcast. For Sisters Only podcast, we'll be getting started. That will be $9.99 a month subscription if you want to join the For Sisters Only.
Boy, he be scamming. Big Papa Cast podcast, For Sisters Only podcast.
Information relevant to Black women, single Black women, married Black women, professional Black women, relationships, health, mental health, well-being, self-care, the whole nine. That's coming soon. The For Sisters Only podcast, $9.99. I tell you, FDMG update. Listen to me carefully. The only thing that will prevent us from having the most honorable Marcus Garvey Elementary School ready, the only thing that will prevent us from having the most honorable Marcus Garvey Elementary School, the only thing that will prevent us from having the most honorable Marcus Garvey Elementary School ready by New Year's Day is being able to afford the HVAC repairs. HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning. HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning. The only thing that will stop us.
See, he didn't even know what that meant until we were clowning about him years ago. We were clowning him about it, and then he figured it out. He started. That's why it was after we were clowning about him real bad. This is the video he did next. He says heating, ventilation, because he didn't even know what it was. Who are you funny?
From being able to open up on New Year's Day.
Yeah, it was crazy.
About that time, because we got to get our approval from the city, right?
He's an excuse maker.
To open up the building, okay?
Listen to this.
Will be HVAC. The estimates that I have gotten for HVAC, none of them were under $250,000.
What? So it was more than $250,000? And that's just for the repairs. Yeah, you're lying. See, because what we did was we put the drone footage, don't make me pull it up, and we calculated how much it was going to cost to replace all of the HVAC units up there on the roof. Y'all remember that hit the one? Based upon Umar saying that it's $50,000 to replace one unit. And if memory serves me right, we came up with the figure around $250,000. That's just to purchase the new units for both sides of the street. Hit the one, y'all remember this. So then Umar does this video, and what he's saying here is it's going to cost $250,000 to complete the HVAC, heating and ventilation, but that's just, he's talking about one side of the street. So he's saying for the HVAC unit. Yeah, because I believe this is before this is after he got I can't remember. But he may be saying that including the HVAC unit, $50,000 is $200,000 worth of work that needs to be done on the whole HVAC system on that side of the street. Yeah, y'all remember that? See, the HVAC saga was huge. That was a huge one. Yeah. He was calling Brother Jose. Yeah, the HVAC saga. But remember, before that, Umar was talking about how he couldn't get into one room that was holding him up, and then he said that the architectural designs needed to be done, and then before that, he said he needed to find the blueprints. It's just one thing after another. Yeah. How's it going? Our response? Yeah, 250,000. He's such a scammer. This guy, he scams so much, and he don't stop. That's the thing, is that he don't stop. Do y'all want me to pull up the drone footage? Let me see if I still have it right here, or if it's still up. It might not still be up there. I actually recorded it though too, but yeah, it's still up there. Let me show this to y'all right quick. This just goes to show you how much of a money pit these bandos are. They're still a money pit to this day. They're a money pit back then. They're a money pit now. And Umar even got a job. It's a doggone shame, Umar. If you don't get a job, yeah, but I'm gonna come back to this video. Here we go right here. This is the Quarry Lake over there, right here. Yeah, there's 2 children that drowned over there a long time ago. But you see these HVAC units over here? So this is the one that he replaced right here. He replaced this one. See how it's gutted? There's nothing inside of it. It's been stripped bare. Okay, Umar said it cost $50,000 for one. Okay, so there's one right there. We go to the other side of the street. This is a smaller one right here. Here's another two of those larger ones, 3 of those larger ones. Let me zoom in so we can see how horrible this is. Look at that. This is what Umar purchased. So that's another. This is 50. Did he say the HVAC was 50,000 or 25,000? Y'all remember? How much did he say that it cost for one HVAC? I think he said 25,000. So that's 25, that's 25, that's 25. Or did he say 50? I don't remember. That will be 75,000. And then here's another one over here. That would be 100,000. This is what he spent other people's money on. It's a waste. Okay, so 25 grand. So that's 100,000 right there just to replace them. We're not talking about installation. And then there's this smaller one right here. And then there's 3 over here. Well, there's 2 right here, and then another small one right here. So these 2, I would probably think if these are 25, and they're Umar be lying anyway, but if these are 25,000, I would think this is probably maybe 15,000 each. Yeah, maybe 15,000. So let's just throw another 30,000 on there. So 130,000, and then these 2 smaller ones. And then over here on this side of the street, there's this larger one that's on the side. It's side mounted. Yeah. Look at this. And the other thing too, know how Umar says he has 4 buildings? Do you guys see 4 buildings here? No, there are 3 buildings. Here's 1, here's 2. This is the small gym, and here's 3. Umar counts this little small storage space over here. He counts this as another building. He's such a liar. I mean, everything he has to say, hey, we got 4 buildings. We got 4 buildings. No, Umar, it's 3 buildings, and that's okay. It's still in the hood, and it looks stank. So, cut it out. And that right there is not good right here. This is after he got the roof repaired. But whenever you see standing water like this, that's not good. Anyway. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. It's been a waste of other people's money. You think he knows what IT means? No, he didn't know at first. It wasn't until, because he had asked the guy, this was when he was at the World Beat Center in San Diego. the guy had asked, I think it was that video, but I know I can pull it up. I have it inside my notes. But Umar, here, let me let this, I'll put this on the screen while I talk about this. Umar, he was talking about, a guy came up to ask questions, and it was like a question and answer session towards the end of the whole thing. And this one guy got up there, he was asking about IT and IT infrastructure. Umar didn't know what he was talking about. I should pull it up because Umar's response shows you that he didn't even know what IT was. And then when later on Umar's talking, and then he brings it up, IT again, and then he says, "What's that called again?" to the brother, and the brother says, "Information technology." Umar says, "Yeah, information technology." He didn't even know what it was. Yeah. By the way, there's a tower back there, a water tower. This one right here. I believe that's the other brownfield catalyst site. These buildings are part of the brownfield catalyst site. This right here is the Boys and Girls Club. Thanks, Fairchild Republic for the super chat. He's saying good morning to the places he promised to have an FDMG branch in. Yeah, but he's promised human isomer. He's promised to have FDMGs in any given city that he speaks in. He'll say that. But it's a manipulation because they say, "Oh wow, he's going to have one here. Let me come out to hear him speak. Oh, he's going to have one here. Let me donate." See, Umar, he sees something else. He knows what he's doing. He's a master manipulator. I'm just looking at this. I mean, this looks horrible. Look at this. These are gutted too. See that? Why would you buy this? This, I don't know what was right here. It's just gone. Probably a light and water coming through there too. That's not good. Yeah, I just makes no sense whatsoever. Everything it's gone. It's gone out of here. All right. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. It's millions of dollars he's gonna need millions of dollars to get all of this renovated. Yeah. Thanks, Human Isomer, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Did I get to everyone? Spending literal minutes listing places. Yeah. He does that. He starts talking about different states and all this stuff, and he just keeps going. He can't help himself. It's we call it roll call. It's called roll call, but it's compulsive at this point. He can't stop himself. All right, so let me get back to this video because I want to show y'all something to show how much of a liar Umar is, especially when it comes to this money. Thank you, user 225. He's a scam artist. Check this out.
None of them were under $250,000. None of them were under $250,000. Building, okay, will be HVAC. The estimates that I have gotten for HVAC, none of them were under $250,000. None of them were under $250,000.
Oh, that's crazy.
None of them were under $250,000, brothers and sisters.
This video's from 2020, October 9th, 2020.
Okay. We can afford the plumbing with the money we have.
So did he have the HVAC by then? I don't think he had the HVAC by then. Yeah, he didn't have the HVAC by then.
Left. We can afford the electric with the money we have left. We can afford the carpentry with the money we have left. I think we can squeeze the fire alarm system. I think we can squeeze the sprinkler system. We cannot squeeze the HVAC. It is $250,000.
This is nothing I think I can squeeze. Yeah, James had asked, oh, look at the baby and the piano too. That's awesome. James says, hello, everyone. I know you are busy, but my question is, what prompted you to follow Umar Johnson? I initially thought it was great to see a young black man with his PhD. Well, my mind has changed. Yeah, if anyone wants to answer in there, I was never Umar Johnson follower, but if you followed Umar in the past, what initially prompted you to follow him? Dre had said, do any of the buildings have a cafeteria? Yeah, the larger, and I didn't know this until more recently. I can actually show you guys the video of the Umar Academy. They show the actual cafeteria area. It's really small, but it's inside of the larger building. And the larger building, Umar, he's turned that into a storage space. As a matter of fact, let me show you guys. Let me do another screen share. I'll show you what I mean. There you go. All right, so let me see if this will come out a little bit. So if you look at this, you guys can look at this on Google Maps too, but I like this because it's interactive. This is the small gym over here in the bottom. I think I can make this stop. Yeah, this is the small gym right here. This is the small, what he calls a small school right here, and this is the large school. It's 3 buildings. There's no cafeteria facilities in here. Inside the small, what he calls a small school, there's not one inside of the small gym. There is a small cafeteria area inside. It's like a food prep area inside of the larger, what Umar calls the larger school. But again, this is he hasn't shown the inside of this since 2019. I think it was the end of 2019. So it's been a really long time. It's been half a decade. He hasn't even shown the inside of this. And from what I understand, he's turned this into a storage area, just like because you remember he flipped his phone and he's a hoarder. He's already turned the small gym into a hoarder space. And he's from what I've heard, he's turned this side of these buildings over here, this building over here into a storage space too. Umar stores his own personal belongings here, but then also just stuff that he acquires that he thinks he's going to use to open up a school. He stores it inside of these abandoned buildings. He's a hoarder, right? Okay, and you guys want me to see if I can find that video? Let me see if I can find that video for you guys, because actually someone sent it to me recently, and I want to thank that person too. Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me do it this way. Here, I'll play this, and I'll see if I can find it.
Please get on your Cash App, $FDMG School. Get on your Cash App, $FDMG School. Get on your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy, or mail it in P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. Now, let me say this. If you were to ask me, Dr. Umar,
check this out.
At the rate that you have been receiving donations for these past 6 years, if you were to ask me, Dr. Umar, at the rate that you have been receiving donations for the past 6 years, how long would it take you to get the additional $250,000 you need to complete the HVAC repairs and open the building? At the rate that we've been receiving donations for the past 6 years, how long would it take you to raise the additional $200,000?
Okay, he's saying the past 6 years. This video's from 2020, because what he's talking about is from 2014 to 2020 is 6 years. And then if we add from 2020 to 2025, it's additional 5 years. So altogether, 11 years. This makes sense to everyone? Okay. So altogether in 2025, this would be, if he was saying this would be 11 years total. So keep this in mind, 11 years total, right? Listen to what he says here. You guys are going to trip on this. Watch this.
The rate that you have been to ask me, Dr. Umar, at the rate that you have been receiving donations for these past 6 years, if you were to ask me, Dr. Umar, at the rate that you have been receiving donations for the past 6 years, how long would it take you to get the additional $250,000 you need to complete the HVAC repairs and open the building? At the rate that we've been receiving donations for the past 6 years, how long would it take you to raise the additional $250,000 to cover your HVAC repairs? How long would it take based on the rate that you've been receiving donations? Brothers and sisters, I would argue that we get approximately $125,000 a year in donations.
Okay, so he's saying $125,000 a year. Remember, in a year and a half, he had raised $500,000. I played that yesterday, I believe. Played it last week too. So I'm going to propose that what Umar is suggesting is that since that time, since 2000, from 2017 onward, that he was collecting about $125,000 a year. But what he's saying, but prior to that, he had collected much more than that. And that's when he initially started. He had raised over $500,000 in a year and a half, right? But let's remember, Umar is telling people in 2024 that he hasn't raised $1 million yet. He's telling people in 2025 that he hasn't raised $1 million yet. However, Umar in this video is saying that he raises $125,000 a year, right? So let's take $125,000 and we're going to multiply it by how many years at this point? Cookie Crush Chat. Some said he's a con man. He's a scammer. He always understates how much money he's collected. He overstates how much money he needs at any given time. How many years? 125,000 times how many years? Well, it's 11 years from 2014 up until now in 2025. If we take $125,000 a year and multiply it by 11, we come up with $1,375,000. Got him. Hit the one. $125,000 a year times 11 years equals $1.375 million. I'm going to put it inside chat room. And this is just one example of how Umar is a scam artist, because he's telling people in 2025, he's telling people in 2024 that he hasn't even raised $1 million. And yet I know, and I can prove that Umar has raised a bare minimum of $2 million. My best estimate, however, is 2.6, 2.7. But based on Umar's words just in this video, we can say that Umar should have raised by now $1,375,000 bare minimum. See what I mean with this guy? He's a con man. He's a scam artist. And again, when he says $125,000 a year, really what he's saying is from the time that he does this video, on average, that's about, during that time period, that's how much he's raising. But if we go back before that, up until 2016, he said he had $1 million, right? So if we take $1 million up to 2016, then we go from 2017 to present, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, that's 8 more years. Now what we can do is we can take $125,000, multiply that by 8, and then we're going to add in the other $1 million that he had collected from 2014 to the end of 2016, and now we get to $2 million, which is the bare minimum. But you see how the figures fluctuate, because Umar, he's always lying about how much money he's collected. He's a con man. Case closed. Well, this guy, he has so many people fooled.
I would argue that we have gotten $125,000 in donations every year, approximately, right? We no longer have that because we bought the school, okay? So we do have a little bit of money left over. So if we get approximately $125,000 in donations every year, it would take us 2 years. We would have to wait another 2 years in order to repair the HVAC.
See, that makes no sense. Umar should have been sitting on $850,000 in February of 2019. This video was what? When was this video from? 2020, right? Where'd all this money go?
My question to all of you is, do you want to wait another 2 years before you can get into your school? Not my school, your school. Do you want to wait another 2 years? At the rate that we receive the donations, it will take another 2 years. We get about $125,000 a year in donations. It would take us 2 years. which stretches us out to, we're in October of 2020. It would take us October to 2022 before we can operate the small school. Unless y'all start donating, unless y'all start joining the Loyal Donors Club. That's why I need y'all in the Loyal Donors Club. That's why I need y'all in the Loyal Donors Club. That's why I need y'all in the Loyal Donors Club. Because if y'all join the Loyal Donors Club, $50 today, October 10th, $50 automatically November 10th, $50 automatically December the 10th. That's $150 a person. According to the math that some of you did yesterday, that's about 1,700 people to join Bronze. 1,700 people to join Bronze Club. If some of you join Silver Club, we can knock that down to maybe 1,500 people. If some of you join the Gold Club, we can knock that down to maybe 1,200 people. A couple of you join Platinum or Diamond, we can knock that down to about 1,000 people. How do we join? Go to my website, Brother Nick. Go to my website, Brother Nick, drumarjohnson.com, and click on Bronze.
You never
click
know,
on
guys,
Silver,
princess,
click on Gold.
Listen, he got a lot of these people fooled. You never know. You never know.
Click on Platinum, click on Diamond, and make sure you click the box, make this a monthly donation. Make sure you click the box, make this a monthly donation. Make sure you click the box, make this a monthly donation. If it's not a monthly donation, you cannot be added to the WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group is for Loyal Donors Club members. If you don't click make this a monthly donation, then you're not a Loyal Donors Club. There's one other way to get this done. There's one other way to get the HVAC done. And the other way to get the HVAC done is to get a black HVAC company to volunteer their labor.
I had a guy that contacted me. It's in the first document that volunteered labor, but Umar, once there was time to actually, for the guy to come out to come take a look, Umar stopped responding to him.
Get a black HVAC company to volunteer their labor. Get a black HVAC company to volunteer their labor. Get a black HVAC company to volunteer their labor. We can afford to purchase the HVAC unit for the school and the gym. We can afford to purchase the HVAC material. We cannot afford to pay for the labor. It is the labor, brothers and sisters. It is the labor, brothers and sisters.
How much
is the labor, brothers and sisters?
250,000. What are you talking about?
So if you are an HVAC brother or sister in the United States, why don't you do black boys a favor? If you are a licensed
Umar, why don't you do black boys a favor, get a job and stop scheming? If you don't, I think you're saying if you don't agree with Dr. Umar, he calls people yeah, you're right. I'm not going to read that word on here. I really don't. I don't really like that word, but I know what you're talking. I know what word you're saying there. I would love to talk to him. I am currently working on my PhD in psychology. I would love to debate him. He wouldn't debate you. He wouldn't debate you. No. You're educated. He's not going to do that. No, he wouldn't do it. And if you're in psychology, he wouldn't do it either. See, if you're getting your PhD now in psychology, then you're current. You're up to date on things. Umar is antiquated. He would never debate you. He wouldn't do it. Umar's still using terminology like retarded. I have it inside my notes. All these times, he hasn't worked in the field of psychology as a professional since 2010, 2011. He hasn't done any continuing education. He doesn't hold any current certifications for anything. He's never been licensed. So right now, James, you know more about modern school psychology or psychology than Umar does. See, it's only because he's told people time and time again, he's lied to people, and he's still telling people in 2025 that he's a school psychologist. No, he hasn't worked in the field. See, what Umar has done is he's weaponized his degrees, his quote unquote 6 degrees. He has 5, which is fine. It's awesome. But he has to say 6, just like he has 3 buildings, but he has to say 4. It's the narcissism with this guy. He's weaponized his degrees against Black people because it's called the appeal to authority. See? Umar, he uses that. He wants people to, in other words, concede to him no matter what, because he's the most requested scholar. He's not scholarly. James, did you know that Umar wrote 2 books and no source material whatsoever? None. He's never been peer reviewed. He's never been in any journals. See, you know what I'm talking about, right? He's done no continuing education to keep current on anything. And yet he's been parading around pretending to be a psychologist on the internet. He says that he's a school psychologist, but he also says that he's a therapist. He's never been done any education or any certifications or any licenses for anything dealing with being a therapist, but he claims to be one. He plays one on the internet. So when someone who is truly in the field, especially someone like you're saying that you're working on your PhD, you're current with stuff. He's not going to want to deal with you because for one, he's not current. It's the illusion that he's given people. He wants to pretend, and he uses his degrees as a weapon against people, and they automatically assume that he's a school psychologist. So number one, he's not current. He holds no certifications in psychology currently, and he hasn't kept up. And that's part of the reason why, because he hasn't kept up on his continuing education. He's antiquated, and that's in any field. If you're not keeping up with continuing education, you get left behind very quickly. And then when you have to re-up on your certifications, in some cases, you got to go and do the certification again, or you have to keep up with your certifications by doing additional certifications over time. And that counts towards maintaining your previous certification. Umar hasn't done any of that. So no, he wouldn't debate you. Listen, if he's not willing to debate me, he ain't going to debate you because you're the one that's about to get a PhD in psychology. Can I matter of fact, let me show y'all something real quick. Now that you bring this up, let me see if I have this lined up already. See, Umar has a history of ducking people. I may not have this. I thought I had it lined up. No, here it is right here. Some of you guys have heard this. This is James. This is just an example of what I mean. I don't mean to go off on this, but it's a key point. Umar would not debate you. He wouldn't debate any professional in the field of psychology because A, he's not current on anything. B, he hasn't worked as as a professional in psychology to any capacity since 2010, 2011 ish. Okay. And three, he hasn't kept up with any continuing education. He's not peer reviewed. He's not scholarly. He's written 2 books with no sources. See, here's the thing, James. It'd be different if Umar wrote 2 books. The book's not peer reviewed, but 2 books. And in these 2 books, he has some source material. And then maybe a percentage of these sources, they're not credible. Or maybe they're not scholarly sources, right? Umar doesn't have any sources. So no, he wouldn't debate you. Let me show you all something right quick. I've been wanting to pull this up because this is one of the old school videos of Umar. Watch what happens in this.
And know how much money you bring?
Because I tell people.
So you don't have any accountability system. You were just talking about accountability, so I was wondering about your accountability system. Do you have anything in place, like a PayPal account or anything that people can look at to see that what has been raised already?
Okay, you made a statement.
Because we're only going to take a break.
I'm hoping that you wouldn't cut me off. If you don't want to answer questions, I'm wondering about your...
Go to the break. She's a reactionary.
Hey, we'll take your calls, folks. We really got to take a break.
Whenever he's challenged, what does he do? He doesn't want to confront this. He starts to call names. In this case, because he used to use this a lot back in the day, reactionary. But Umar's the ultimate reactionary. If you call him out or if you question him, he's going to call you cool. You know what I'm talking about, but you see what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find this other one, though. Give me 1 second. And this is when Umar was being pressed about his degrees. And I have it, but I might not be able to find it quickly enough. I want to say this was 2012, but let me see real quick. That's 2010. I'm looking 2011. Oh, I have it when he was being interviewed by Sonnetta. I have it when he was talking about hidden colors and promoting it. Okay, let me check 2012. Yeah, it's not coming up here. I have it though. I'm going to see if I can find it as we progress here. I can't remember what the woman's name was. Black Anonymous knows what the woman's name was. She was highly educated. She was interviewing Umar and was pressing him about his degrees. And Umar, he just lost it. Let me check 2000. Let me check 2013 and 2014. If I can't find after that, then we'll move on. Book signing. This was him in Detroit lying. He said he was going to build it. He was going to have a school in Detroit. I have the video where the lady was talking about, this was back in 2013, how Umar owed her money and she confronted him. Yeah, it's not theory. Let me just check 2014 real quick. And if not, then we'll just move on. I apologize for holding everybody up. Is this might be it right here. I'm not sure though. You know, I should have just looked it up beside my notes. That's what I should have done. Let's try this one. It may be it. It may not be. Let's see. Oh, it's not coming up. Hold on one second. Yeah, I don't think this is it because it was a lady. I thought she had degrees and stuff. This is different. This is Fahrenheit Radio, urban something. That can't be it. Okay, I'll see if I can find it, but it'll prove your point even further. Thank you, James, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what it was. Cynthia A. Johnson. Yep, that's what it is. Let me see if I'll find it now. That's what it was. Yeah, thanks, Black Anonymous. I knew you would have known. Cynthia A. Johnson. And then Umar Johnson. No relationship. Yeah, you have it on there. I think I have I'll use yours. That's what I'll do. Yeah. Yeah, whenever he's challenged, Black Anonymous named it Umar can't answer basic questions. But it's so true. It's so true with this guy. All right, let me do this. Let me grab this real quick. I should go ahead. I'm just going ahead and re-download it so that I can have it and know where it's at. Let's see how long this is going to take. Okay, it's downloading now. Yeah, it's probably going to take about maybe a minute and a half. I'll let that run. And then I'll bring it back up, okay? Thank you, Black Anonymous. All right, let me get back to this video right here. Let's finish this video while this other one's downloading. Here we go.
That commercial experience in the United States, do black boys a favor. Get in contact with the Wilmington State. Get your license transferred. Get in contact with Wilmington City. Get in contact with Delaware State and get your license transferred over, and get in contact with Wilmington City and get your license transferred over. You have to be licensed in Delaware and you have to be licensed in Wilmington.
God is peace says, come on, y'all, let's give the man 10 more years. I mean, nobody's perfect. He's working on the school. We just have to wait a little longer. You said 10 more years. That's crazy. Oh, man. Okay, let me throw the question out there. At this point, we're going to forget about everything that's happened in the past when Umar went to this school scam. Okay, we're going to forget about the St. Paul's College. We're going to forget that he said it was going to open in September 11, 2013. We're going to forget that he said it's going to open 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 2026, because he changed it to 2026 about a month ago, 2 months ago. We're going to forget all that. All the money he's collected, millions of dollars, we're going to forget about all that. Let's just start fresh today. With where things are at with these abandoned buildings, with the amount of money that Umar is bringing in consistently, whatever that may be, how many more years do you guys think it will take, or should it take, for Umar? Well, let's say, how many years is it going to take for Umar to open up this school? And I'm not even joking, okay? I'm not going to joke here. I'm just going to be real straight with it. And I'm thinking with where the dilapidation is as of right now with Umar, he's never up there. He's always traveling. He's always okay. Just for the school to open, what I'm getting at is that the school is finished. Well, and opens means that the faculty and staff, the money to pay faculty and staff, everything, insurance, IT infrastructure, security, buses, bus drivers, etc. How long is it going to take? Well, if it takes Umar, he conceptualized this in 2004. Well, we got to forget about all that. But it's 6 years after you acquired these abandoned buildings to get to operations and all that stuff too. I'm going to go, it's going to be 35 years minimum. 35 years. That's what I'm going to go. And that's my assessment. And I'm not joking. I'm not I'm not being facetious. I'm going to go with 35 years minimum. It's going to take Umar about 35 years. He's going to be about 85. He's going to be about 85 years old when by the time that everything is done, school classes actually start based upon where things are at today and how Umar is moving at this point. And then, of course, he's not going to be as active as he gets into his 60s and 70s. Wait a minute, I didn't think about that. Anywhere between 40 and 45 years. Somebody said 33,400, 33,400 years. Now I think 40 years is good. I think 40 to 45 years. I think that's fair. Okay, 10 more. I think that it's going to take a lot longer than that, God speech. Just being honest with you. Okay, all right. Thank you for the super chat, and that's just a fair assessment. I'm not trying to be funny or anything like that. Okay, best case scenario, 40 at a minimum. Yeah, at a minimum. Yeah, he's gonna have Chinese buses. Maybe 2,550, 21, 23. Yeah, that's something like that. All right. Yeah, I know, par B. I mean, that's kind of a moot point. It's an infinity. What's up, X Reba? I would say 40 to 45 years. I'll go with that. Yeah, he's 50. So 40 years. By the time he's 90, something like that. Okay. The grand opening was in 2020. Yeah. He's the grand opening's been every year since 2014. Okay, and then now he's saying 2026. Let me play this now. I got it downloaded. Let me pull this up because I just want to reiterate the point that I was making earlier about Umar. He does not like to be challenged, and just like the brother James who's working on this page. Congratulations too, by the way. I forgot to say that. Congratulations, and let us know when you get done, and we'll celebrate. He wouldn't debate you. He wouldn't do that. Umar does not like to be challenged. He would call you names and he would start wilding out and acting crazy. But in particular, because you're educated and you're educated in his field, you'll run circles around him. Okay, what he talks about is antiquated. It's antiquated. Check this out, everybody. This is one of the old videos from back in the day. In fact, this lady, she was one of the forerunners who first started talking about it. It was her and a lady named Michelle Beatty, I think, or something like that.
Now, thank you for tuning in to the Mr. Umar Johnson, better known as Dr. Umar Johnson. I
Watch
just
how
wanted
Umar
to
acts.
remind everyone what Stand Up Now is all about. Stand Up Now is an organization about integrity, informing, educating. Stand up now. Think about that. Stand up now for what is right. Stand up now for truth. Stand up now.
Yeah.
And we all must stand up now.
Yeah, we
do
talked about
believe
this.
that we do have Umar Johnson on the line. Good morning.
James says, Lord Jamar was trying to advise him. He went off. I'm pursuing my PhD to make myself better. Good. In order to help someone else to become good. Excellent. Evidently, he did not get the memo. Umar's his drive is not to help people. It never was. His drive is to fulfill this narcissistic self-perception that he's this great leader. So he will tell people that he wants to help them. He wants to help black boys and your black boys and black girls for that matter, but he doesn't do that. He actually uses that as a manipulative tool to gain access to more and more black people. That's what you call narcissistic supply. And what he does is he seeks to convert black people, transform them into a supply, and mainly financial, but also sexual exploitation. Nothing. His pursuit of degrees, it had more to do with ego. What's the point in going and getting, as Umar states, 6 degrees? It makes no sense. He spent 20 years pursuing degrees. It makes no sense. If he wanted to be a psychologist, then why not just get a bachelor's in psychology and a master's in psychology to be a school psychologist? That's all you need. But if you want to do more, okay, go get a PhD. But he went and got a PsyD. Okay, well, that's fine. That's it. That's fine. No, but Umar has to pick up what he says. It's a double major, so it's 1 degree, but he says it's 2 degrees, 1 in political science and 1 in psychology. Then he picks up a degree, a master's in psychology and a master's in educational leadership or something to that effect. And then also a master's in something, I can't remember what the other one is. And then he goes and gets a PsyD. What's the point of all that? It's just to feed his ego. And it's not functional in his real life because he hasn't worked as a psychologist to any capacity since 2010, 2011. Then he goes and he gets a certification to be a psychologist. He also gets a national certification to be a psychologist. He doesn't hold that any longer because he didn't keep up with his continuing education. Then he also picks up a certification as to be a principal. If Umar, and I've yet to find any documentation online or otherwise that proves that Umar was a principal. I actually think he probably did function as a principal for a very short period of time. He said he was a vice principal and a principal. Now, if he functioned as a principal, and if I gave him the benefit of the doubt, or a vice principal, I guarantee you it was just for a matter of months, a limited time period. Okay? His pursuit of higher education wasn't altruistic. It wasn't to help black people. That's not, because he uses that as a weapon against black people, to demean black people, to make black people feel as if they're less than and that he's superior. They're subservient to him because he's so highly educated. Umar, if you're so highly educated, why are you 50 years old living inside your mama's closet? See, it's non-functional. None of it's functional at the end of the day. So the point, James, with Umar is there's no altruism. He doesn't want to help black people. He's not even doing it to do better for himself. See, if he did it to do better for himself, then he would be in a better situation today than he was when he got his PsyD back in 2012. He's not. I pursued a degree and I'm doing a whole lot better these days. I did it because I want to better myself and I want to be a better service to my family. And that's what I've done. Still got a long way to go, though. Umar hasn't done that, and he claims to have 6 degrees. But it's the mentality with Umar. It was never about I'm gonna educate myself so that I can help black people. No, it was feeding his ego. For Umar, it's all about ego. Yeah. See, Umar didn't even come into the black conscious space until relatively later on in his life. He didn't start wearing dashikis until more recently. You guys know that? Relatively speaking. So it wasn't like he had this sense that I'm going to, I'm out here to help black people. What it was for Umar, he was lied to by his father and told that he was a descendant of Frederick Douglass. And because Frederick Douglass was someone who was held in high esteem, Umar, in his own imagination, sees himself as someone who should be held in high esteem. And that's all ego. So he pursues these degrees to feed the ego. He calls himself Big Papa to feed the ego. I don't mean to go off. He calls himself the most requested scholar to feed the ego. Everything is ego driven with this guy. So no, it's not about helping people, because people who come from that place of extreme ego that's tied to narcissism, they're not interested in helping other people. That's why James, when he was on Lord Jamar, what did he say about the people? He said, I don't care about the people. I care about the donors. See, what that translates to is that he cares about the money. The donors, they represent money. That's a narcissistic supply. See, Umar, he's an interesting character. Years ago, I asked myself, why didn't Umar, many years ago, Why didn't Umar use his education to benefit himself and benefit black people? If he has 6 degrees. At that time, I thought, I just assumed, I always said he has at least 4, but I didn't think he had 6, but I said, okay, I'll take him for his word. But no, he has 5. Now it's clear to me. He never intended to help black people, and he never had the skill set needed to take care of himself as a man, because everything that he did, it was all ego driven. I'll even propose, and then we'll move on. I apologize for going off on this. A quick chat. I'll propose that Umar, his sexual exploitation of black women is ego driven. Him running through all these women out here, it's ego driven. And then look at all of the things that he created in the past, including this fake school where he's going to help these single black mothers to save their black boys. That's all ego driven to crush cookies, because that feeds his ego. The Rules of Romance book. Wait, you're a school psychologist. Why are you writing a Rules of Romance book? What feeds his ego and the sexual exploitation of women and domination of women. Okay? Yeah. But you, James, you get that PhD, you benefit yourself, you benefit your family, and you help others. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Umar, he's a cautionary tale. There's a lot that we can learn about manhood, masculinity, fatherhood, and women too. You can learn from Umar not to be like Umar, but why it's important not to be like Umar. Okay. All right. Thanks, James. Seth said Richard Wright, Chester Himes, Walter Mosley, Toni Morrison, Ralph Ellison, Zora Neale Hurston. Yeah. I'm wondering if Umar has ever gone at women writers. He's gone at people like Oprah, but I wonder if he's gone at any of the great black women writers. And the reason why I'm asking that right now is because you bring up these names. But the thing is that because we were talking about earlier how Umar, he tends to attack successful black people. You know, I think real quick, Seth, I don't think that Umar, he probably doesn't see authors and writers as being competition to him, because authors and writers tend to be more behind the scenes. They're not all up front. Their works and their creative work is done largely behind the scenes. But then you get celebrity people, and those are the people that Umar target the most because they get the most amount of attention. But I'm wondering, I haven't run across any videos where Umar has disparaged any of these great black writers from the past. Thanks, Seth, for the soup chat. I mean, he may have. Umar, you know how he is. Yeah, Francis Cress Welsing, Alice Waters. Is James in the building? Oh, I thought you were talking about DJ Kelly. yeah, he's a cloud chaser. That's basically. Okay, let's get back going here. I had all this other stuff. We're already an hour and 30 minutes in. Jay Civic says the opening is dependent on who's coming to Paint Day, who's coming to Paint Day, who's coming to Paint Day. I was thinking about this today because Umar, in this one Paint Day video, he was tripping. He was tripping. I think I have it pulled. Do I have it pulled up? Yeah, I have it pulled up. He was tripping. I wonder what is it that Umar can do next? Because you can only have so many paint days, right? You can only have so many cleanup days. You can only have, what else has he done? Paint day, cleanup day, block parties, I guess. But when is the real work going to be done? You can only put doors in so many times. What's going to be the next thing? Another paint day? Maybe. I remember what he said last year. He said floors and doors. So we're going to have to wait and see. Yeah. The grand opening is dependent on so many different things. Okay. And what is the grand opening? Because there's a grand opening where Umar, he calls it a grand opening where people come to see the school, but that doesn't mean the school is going to open with faculty and staff and children enrolled. That's what I'm saying. Even that process, it's going to take a very long time to get to that. Umar still has paperwork that he has to file with the Board of Education in what is it? I was going to say Wilmington in Delaware. The Board of Education in Delaware That's a whole process that needs to take place. He hasn't done that yet. So there's no school or entity registered as FDMG. There's a specific title, the RBG, Leadership Academy, etc. So there's so much that still work that still needs to be done just to get to that point, just to get certificate of occupancy. So that's what I'm saying. At this rate, I would have to say probably 35, 40 years, something like that down the line. Anyway, thanks, J Civic, for the super chat. Okay, let's get back on track because we still got to get to the Dave Chappelle stuff. Let me pull this up because this correlates to something that James was talking about earlier. Okay, let me do this one.
How are you?
All is well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you and LaDonna, so make sure to tell LaDonna, and I hope she's listening, that we thank you. Dr. Umar, tell us a little bit about who it is that you are, for those of us who don't know.
Certainly. I'm Dr. Umar Johnson, psychology. I'm a certified school psychologist and certified school principal. I'm in private practice here in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I evaluate children for special education, disability determination. I work with private schools, public schools, superintendents, principals, special ed attorney advocate groups. I'm founder of my very own advocate group, the National Independent Black Parent Association.
Doesn't exist.
I am a blood relative of the great Frederick Douglass. I'm former Minister of Education of Marcus Garvey's movement, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, and I am author of the book, Psychoacademic Holocaust, Special Education, and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys, which is the only book ever written by a Black school psychologist, specifically to Black parents, with detailed strategies on how they can effectively advocate for their children in public and charter schools.
Wow, that's a mouthful. And I'll tell you that I've been listening to you for a very long time, and I want to say that you are smart. What is it on what's that movie? You is smart, you is intelligent, and you are loved here. But before we go on with the show, Dr. Umar, I don't know how much research you've done on me, but everyone that I have on my show, I try my very best to do as much research on them as I can. And speaking of you, and you're an incredible person. We have incredible people throughout our country. Black folks are just some of the most smart, if not the smartest people I know. But when I did my research, Dr. Umar, I did not find any college that you attended. What college did you attend to get your doctorate degree, and what year?
Sure, I'll answer that question. But let me first say this. There is no law that requires anyone's degree to be published.
This is what you call a qualifying statement. This is what liars do oftentimes, a qualifying statement.
Published online. So you may not see my information online, but you may not see the information for a lot of scholars online. I earned my undergraduate degree in psychology and political science from the Millersville University of Pennsylvania.
Notice how he says undergraduate degree. He doesn't say degrees, and that's because it's a double major. But he counts it these days. He counts them as 2 degrees, so that he can get to 6. When in point of fact he has 5. Got him.
What's the name of it?
Millersville University of Pennsylvania. I earned my school psychology degree also from Millersville University. And I earned my master's degree from Lehigh University in educational leadership. And I earned my 6th degree, my 5th and 6th, a master's and doctorate in clinical psychology from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. 6 degrees in all. Not that should matter, because it is my work that counts, not my education, but that is the education.
All right. And under the name of Umar Johnson, for those of us who want to check, let me just say this. I've been dealing with some things over the weekend, and I don't want, and there's been a lot of questions presented to me. So of course, when we have someone as distinguished as you, I know that you want our people to be involved, and not only involved, but to do their research. Would you agree?
I don't have a problem with that. My proof is in my pudding. It's not.
See how much attitude he gets.
Not my degree.
He's so sassy.
Dr. Umar Johnson. It's the work that I've done servicing our parents and children for the past 20 years.
And we appreciate that, Dr. Johnson.
Yeah, Black Anonymous, you know what year this was when this came out? Because I don't think I have it archived with the year. That's why I couldn't find it earlier.
But still, we want to encourage our people, even when it comes to voting, to do their part, and that is to research those who are coming before us and talking with us. Do you agree with that?
I would agree partially. I would say the best way to learn somebody is to interact with them. And to that end, I will be in Detroit on Wednesday, December the 30th, speaking at the Shrine of the Black Madonna. And I encourage all your parents in Detroit to come out, learn who Dr. Umar Johnson is, but more importantly, get Dr. Umar Johnson's information.
This is one of the early videos of Umar being interviewed, one of the early ones. So this has to be before 2019.
A lot of people in our community who don't have my credentials, who receive far less criticism than I do.
Let me see if I can find it.
I would encourage them to come out, get the information. I'm one of the few Black male school psychologists in this country, and one of the even fewer Black males who are going to teach them how to fight this system so they can protect their children from special education, unnecessary placement, juvenile placement, ADHD, psychiatric medication.
Yeah, I just found it. It's from 2015. Okay, this is August 27th or 28th. I'm going to go with 27th of 2015.
Expulsion. I can teach them how to read their child's psychological evaluations. I can teach them how to get their child an approved private school placement at district expense if they find that the school is not properly educating their children.
Yeah, see, this is one of the scams that Umar was running back in the day. It's called, I called it in my notes, I call it compulsory education. No, not compulsory. There's a term for it. I can't remember what it's called, but this is where he would get the school district to pay for your child to get either tutoring for free or to get your child enrolled in a private school, and then the public school system would pay for it. He's a con man even back then.
So I come with a repertoire of experience and history working with people who don't question who I am and what my degrees are. I will also be in Flint, Michigan.
Oh, you gave $300 to a school on that day. That was around 2012, 2013. Yeah. Yeah. Did you give him any more? Was that your only donation?
On Martin Luther King Day, Monday, January the 18th, the Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Flint invited.
Yeah, he called the Christian pastor the N-word and the C word.
They're the keynote, their annual Martin Luther King Jr. mentorship breakfast. So I will be in Flint for the first time, January 18th. But of course, next Wednesday in Detroit, our first visit to.
Yeah, but surely Umar, he's only telling people that he started raising money in 2014. Okay, this is another person that's saying 2012, 2013. There are people that said 2009.
Detroit since March or April. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Was it at a speaking engagement?
Get tremendous support from the African community in Detroit. Last event was a sellout, so we're asking people to get there early.
I don't think he has to tell himself.
Because
I also gave after that maybe 100. Okay,
we're almost there.
Tell us.
Yeah, was it at a speaking? Real quick, was it at a speaking engagement that you gave?
Black Madonna is. You're breaking up, Doctor.
7625 Linwood Street. 7625 Linwood Street. This is Shrine of the Black Madonna, shrine number 1. So this is actually the original shrine from where the philosophy and ideology of Black Christian nationalism was created. And of course, I will be at the shrine in Atlanta 2 days prior on Monday, and the Shrine of the Black Madonna in Houston 4 days prior this coming Saturday, December the 26th. So.
And in January, you will be at Big Brothers, Big Sisters in Flint, Michigan. What is the address there? And then give us the date again, please.
Okay. I don't know the address, but if anyone needs the contact information, they can email me for the contact information so they can contact Big Brothers and Big Sisters if they're interested in getting a ticket. And my email address is drumarjohnson@yahoo.com.
Yeah, so he was speaking, but I knew that he needed money for his school. Yeah. He had been talking about the school long before 2014. Again, in 2010, he said the school was going to open 2013. So like I've been telling people, Umar was collecting money before 2014 for the school. It's just, I think I said it yesterday. It's just that he didn't do it online. He didn't start promoting it online to collect money virtually. If you guys understand what I'm saying, basically through wire fraud. In this case, using the internet to get money out of people until around the St. Paul's school scam, when that started in the spring of 2014. And that wasn't even right away because he had to set up a PayPal first, and then he ended up setting GoFundMe, and then later he goes on to Plum Fund, and then he gets on to CashApp. The GoFundMe got shut down, the CashApp got shut down, and the Plum Fund got shut down because of fraud. Yeah. And then he came to Nandy's Cafe. Isn't that I thought that's in, if memory serves me correctly, Michigan or Ohio or something like that. Anyway, because I've heard Umar talk about that.
DRUMAR Johnson.
Yeah, I thought it was
at yahoo.com. They can also email me through the website, drumarjohnson.com. So we have Wednesday, December 30th, Detroit, Shrine of the Black Madonna, 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. And then we have Monday, January the 18th, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Flint, Michigan, and that will be
So I know 2006, me and 4 friends gave him $1,200 each. Oh man, $1,200 each. That's what I'm saying. This guy, he's collected millions of dollars, 2.6, 2.7. Okay, bare minimum $2 million, and he's been at this for 11 years since 2014. But he was collecting before that. He's not going to tell people. He's not going to admit that. Oh, it's close to Detroit. Okay, yeah, I'm tripping. But he's mentioned that before. Umar spent a lot of time in Detroit because he was trying to get into the Detroit chapter of the UNIA. He also had a dude who has a criminal record up there that he was dealing with up there for a while. He was a scammer. He was a scammer too, and he had a Detroit school scam as well. Yep, he went up there acting like there was this building that he was going to try to purchase or whatever in Detroit. It wasn't even up for sale. Black Anonymous did all the research on that. Umar, he's such a liar. He's a con man.
A breakfast lunch program, so probably a 10 to 2. But in the evening in Flint, after the breakfast keynote, I will be doing a full free seminar for the entire Black community in Flint, Michigan on the psychoacademic war against Black boys and what they can do to fight back.
You know what, Dr. Umar, you don't skip a beat. All the questions I was asking you, you did not skip a beat, not one time. I admire you. But then I'm going to go right back to my question.
Sure.
And when you said in part it matters if we verify and research, what did you mean by that?
I meant that anyone can make themselves look like something and not online. When we talk about research, we're largely talking about internet searching and Googling. That's what we're talking about. And so in doing that, again, anyone can present themselves as something and not. How often have we read about people online and then met them and they were not half of what they lived up to? So I can clearly put forth a false notion of who Dr. Umar Johnson is beyond the degree, because I know people who don't have the degree who have more expertise than people with them. So to me, that really doesn't mean much because I'm in that sphere and in that.
Okay, real quick, James, you see what Umar's doing here? Like, check this out.
Professional study. So
yeah. That's what
the best way to learn somebody is to learn them.
Yeah, she sure is.
Ask them the questions. Get in their person. As human beings, and you know this, being a student of spirit yourself, we're very vibrational individuals.
See, part of what he's doing too is he's trying to go to the spirituality and to and you know this as a spiritual being too. He's trying to take it out of the realm of proper intellectual process into like the spiritual metaphysical realm, but at the same time placate to her. What's the word though? Flattery. He's trying to flatter her to kind of bring her back down to where, because he can sense now that she's on to him.
So you can learn more from the vibration of a person than you ever could from their bio or credentials.
I wish that was totally true, because I have had people look me directly in the face and lie at the same time.
Oh, Lord. There we go. She reminded me of Queen Mother a little bit too, don't you?
Both ways.
You know,
yep,
so,
pander.
So I always encourage people to research. And by the way, the research that I do is not just online, but I encourage people to pick up the phone, use the good old pen and paper, make phone call, and get certified records if necessary, and that can be found. I went to I went to the state of Pennsylvania to look up yours. And I'm not trying to challenge you, doctor. Really, I'm not. I just want our people to not only listen to and hear from a man who is speaking truth to our people, but I also want them to be cognitive and smart enough to do your own research. So anyway, when I went to the state of Pennsylvania where you practice, the state of Pennsylvania, there was nothing under the name Umar Johnson. So what name is your degree under? Your certified psychologist degree. Hello?
Yes.
Dr. Umar?
Yes.
Umar was like, oh shit. Umar? Yeah. She wasn't playing. He was about to hang up. He said, let me go ahead and get up off here.
Degrees is your degree under? Your certified psychologist degree. Hello?
Yes.
Dr. Umar?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I was asking you.
No, I heard the question. Let me answer you. When you earn a doctorate degree in psychology, the state Bureau of Psychology, the State Board of Psychology, does not keep a listing of everyone with a doctorate. They don't keep a listing at all of anyone with a doctorate. The State Board of Psychology keeps a list of individuals who have earned their license in psychology.
Do you have a license?
I have my doctorate. Yes, ma'am. Their license and their license only. I have my doctorate in clinical psychology. I am certified as a school psychologist. Your certification does not come from the state board. Your certification comes from the State Department of Education.
I see what he's saying.
The only person we have in a doctorate is the school I graduated, because the State Board of Psychology does not keep those records, nor are they interested in those records. They keep a record purely of those who are licensed. I do not hold a license. And the reason I do not hold a license is because my expertise is in school psychology, in which I am certified. That's what.
Yeah, and yet he claims to be a therapist.
I spend 95% of my time. I do conduct clinical evaluation, and since I'm not licensed, if I conduct a clinical evaluation, that means I have to get a licensed psychologist to sign off on my evaluation. For clinical work, for psychoeducational work, I don't need anybody to sign off because I am certified. The problem is when people are not in a particular field, they don't understand the regulations of the field. They don't understand the different areas of the field, and they'll go looking for something that they know nothing about and end up drawing.
Well, at times he gets his driver's license revoked for child support. So yeah.
False conclusions about the person they're researching.
And see, that's just the point. People have a right to look up who is going inside of their minds. People have a right to know what type of doctor, be it medical or psychological, they have a right to know who those people are.
Exactly.
And
sports
so
bet.
going back to the question, for your certified psychology degree, what name can we find it under?
Psychology degree. You get a degree from an institution.
Okay.
As I said again, my certification comes from the State Department of Education, as I said a moment ago.
Dr. Umar, why is it so hard for you just to answer the question?
Because I answered your question, and I think it's a ridiculous waste of time that we're worrying about where I got my degrees from instead of educating your parents on the law.
We want to.
Here we go, Joshua. Didn't he do this yesterday for the Lord Jamar? It's the same thing. You see, he does the same thing. So I want to pull this up just to tie back to what Kelly was saying earlier. Umar, he does not like to be challenged. He wouldn't accept a debate from someone who's highly educated, especially someone who's in the field of psychology. This lady is questioning him, you know, and I get it. Umar, there's plenty of people that have questioned him on this, but he has a very difficult time responding to these types of questions without getting emotional, and he has a very difficult time explaining it in such a way to where it makes sense. All right, for time's sake, everyone, I'll have some of this inside the documentary for sure, because this lady was one of the forerunners who first started G-checking Umar a long time ago. Someone had brought up how Umar was behaving. Wait, which one is this? Is this one? Oh yeah, okay. He was on a Christian radio show. I have that pulled up. Let me just see if we can find the timestamp real quick. We do this real quick.
To stop going into the public domain, making politically irresponsible, dangerous, and ridiculous comments. Amber Geiger and the forgiving of white police killers is another public pronouncement we need to stop making. A part of forgiving killers before they've been convicted. First of all, you shouldn't be forgiving them publicly at all. Because by forgiving our killers publicly, we're creating a political atmosphere that makes it acceptable to kill black people. I want to say it again. We forgave Dylan Roof. Okay? We forgave, Michael Brown's mom didn't forgive. I don't believe Trayvon's mom forgave. Eric Garner's wife didn't forgive. But many of the rest of them forgave the killers of their family members.
So when you say publicly, what do you mean? You mean so
going into the public where everybody can see, i.e. white folks, going into the public, on the television, the radio, the magazine, the newspaper, going to the media, and making a politically irresponsible, ridiculous, and dangerous comment that's going to affect all black people. And I've just given you three. One, Obama don't have to do anything for us. Just be black. Two, we don't care if you ignore the law as long as R. Kelly goes to jail. Three, forgiving the killers of black people before convictions. When you do those things, that affects all of us. What happened right after they forgave Amber Geiger? You know what happened right after they forgave Amber Geiger? The police, I believe it was the police, it hasn't been proven, but allegedly, the police assassinated the lone witness in the case. They killed that brother. They killed him. You know why? Because they're going to push for a new trial for Amber Geiger. And they want to get her acquitted. And they're probably going to win. You know why? Because even both of John's brothers say, I don't want you to go to jail.
Yeah.
What kind of shit is that?
Well, listen, I was moved by that. And it's, again, I don't consider myself to be a practicing Christian. Like, I don't go to church or anything like that. But I have respect for because one of my teachers from time I was, 15 until 23, and I still see him as a father figure. He's a devout Christian. So I have respect. And one of the teachings is forgiveness, right? So that moment in that courthouse where Botham John's brother forgave her and it was moving and said, "Can I give you a hug?" Listen, it brought me to tears. If I watched it today, I would cry. Umar, because he sees everything through the lens of it's a jaded lens of white supremacy and white people are all evil and they're all racist. He's actually said that all white people are racist. And so we shouldn't forgive them, and when they cause harm, we shouldn't forgive. But that goes against the tenets of Christianity. So Umar gets on a Christian radio show, and that's the context where they're talking about this case, and really the issue is forgiveness. And watch what happens here. Watch what happens here.
Well, let's look at it.
Mockery. We are condoning our own extermination.
Yeah, but let's look at it from a Christian point of view, because as you mentioned earlier, many of us.
I'm not going to look at it from a Christian point of view. I'm an African. I don't give a damn about no religion. Don't know religion. Don't know religion. No religion is that important that it is going to absolve me of a responsibility to look out for my people.
Listen, you can judge him for whatever he does, his brother, but that's his choice. Okay, and that ain't got shit to do with me, so don't direct that shit at me, first of all. Let me just check you on that. Don't direct that shit at me. I don't like the tone. If someone wishes to forgive and they have it in their heart to forgive someone, that's their business. It's not yours. Okay? You sorry, all right.
Best interest.
Yeah,
See,
but,
let me explain.
Yeah, but you might be missing the point right there, Dr. Umar, because
missing what?
Many of people's reality is made up of what they know, and that's
but does that make it acceptable, brother? Does that make it healthy?
Yeah, but
does that make it beneficial to black people?
Yeah, but
I don't care about what their religion is. How is that benefiting us?
But look at your point of view as an African.
Pragmatic. Let me give you this point.
Yes, but you have to understand it's contradictory. Umar's called for the murder of black boys. See, Umar can say anything, but it's hypocritical at the end of the day. Umar's called for the murder of black boys. All right.
Politically pragmatic. You know,
and it's a personal choice. It's a personal choice. And his brother has that choice based upon his religious beliefs. Real talk.
What that means whatever you bring me, I'm going to ask you, how does this benefit black people? If you bring me a white wife, I'm going to ask you, how does that benefit black people? If you bring me a gay black male, I'm going to ask you, how does that benefit black people? You bring me a Walmart and a Starbucks in a black community.
See, that's not his business.
I'm going to ask you, how do we benefit? Just like when I was on the...
How does living in your mama's closet benefit black people? How does stealing and conning black people out of millions of dollars benefit black people? How being a baby daddy, and a baby mama creator and a deadbeat, how does that benefit black people? Y'all see my point? Let's go.
Breakfast Club the other day, I brought up the brother Byron Allen. How does him getting this contract from Comcast benefit us? How is he going to use this to benefit black people? You're telling me that they Christian, so I have to excuse the behavior? Hell no.
No, it's not that you have to excuse the behavior. It's that you have to accept their reality. Because just as you're an African. You're African and you pro-black. I
have to accept that reality.
Okay, but I'll let you talk.
And I will not accept that reality.
I'll let you talk.
I understand that. What I think you're saying is that's their narrative.
And it is.
That's their narrative.
And it is just like being pro-black is your narrative.
Understand their narrative. And I understand their narrative. But the point that I'm making to you, how does that narrative benefit black folks? Because one thing I want to be very clear about.
It doesn't.
I want to be absolutely clear about.
That's your narrative.
No
it doesn't
individual, let me say this point. No individual black person, you, me, Botham John's brother, Botham John's daddy, okay?
This is bullshit, okay? Let me explain why. It's not we and them, first of all. But second of all, who's killing black people the most? I'll wait. See, when you get caught up in this whole thinking of them versus us based upon race and white people this and black people this, everything gets jaded. The fact is that the people who are killing black people the most is black people. Now, I want you guys to see what happens here. As Umar is saying this bullshit that some of y'all believe in. And you can believe in whatever you want to. Just like Botham's John, his brother has the right to forgive whoever the fuck he wants to forgive. Ain't got nothing to do with you. But watch how this spins. So y'all got to check yourself on that, because that's Umar. He thinks he's so important that he can dictate to other people who they should be forgiving and who they shouldn't. And then if we want to put it in the scope of, they're all killing us. No, what are you talking about? The people who are killing black people the most overwhelmingly is other black people. So now what? But see, even that premise is faulty. And I'm going to show you why by listening to Umar's rhetoric. He's contradictory. Here we go.
The people who want R. Kelly to go to jail, and even if his rights get violated. The people who said Obama don't have to do nothing for black folks. No individual black person has the right to engage in politically irresponsible behavior that affects the entire race. Let me say that one more time, please. No individual black person. I don't give a damn what their excuse is. I don't care if the excuse is.
See the narcissism? He sees himself as if he's the authority and that black people should be doing what he wants them to do. He's living inside his mama closet. He don't have a job. He doesn't have his own vehicle. He's a deadbeat. He don't take care of his own kids. He has a substance abuse issue. He's scamming the black community out of millions of dollars. And yet, for some reason, it's the narcissism. And it amazes me that there are people who adhere to this type of philosophy, that somehow what you think someone else should be doing, especially when it comes to the personal choice of forgiveness, is your fucking business in the first place. It's not your business. It's irrelevant what you think. From a Christian perspective, Botham John, his brother, decided to forgive. It's that simple. Now deal with it.
Christianity. I don't care if the excuse is Islam. I don't care if the excuse is I'm half white. I got a white mom or a white dad. I don't care if the excuse is I went to an Ivy League college.
That man has a right to speak on the behalf of
no black person.
Yeah, he got the right to speak on the behalf of his brother.
Engage in politically irresponsible.
And absolutely, I don't care what someone else does. Don't judge me when I don't forgive. Exactly. See? But what's the mentality that thinks that somehow, a person's mentality who thinks that somehow they can dictate to someone whether they should forgive or not? Now, watch how all this flips, though. Check this out.
Responsible behavior that affects the race.
It wasn't something that when he spoke, that they spoke forgiveness for the officer killing their brother. He wasn't looking at it from a political standpoint. That was a personal.
That's irrelevant.
That's his brother.
It doesn't matter how he was looking at it, brother. There was political repercussions for that affected all of us.
That's what you say.
Wait a minute. What happened right after they forgave Amber Geiger?
But
another police officer in the same state murdered another sister in her house as well.
Okay, listen. No, you can't dictate to how someone forgives someone and when someone forgives someone. That's the point. Whether he does it at trial or he does it privately is irrelevant. It's his choice. Now, you can say that it affected sentencing, but how do you know that 100%? You don't know that. You don't know that. But the fact still remains that you can't dictate to someone when they're going to forgive, how they're going to forgive, where they're going to forgive. That's their personal choice. Similarly, it's a personal choice for someone if they don't want to forgive, when they don't want to forgive, how they don't want to forgive, etc. That's the point. All right, let's go.
Do you not understand how we create precedent with our behavior that affects the entire race? If what he said only affected him and his family, it would be acceptable. But what he said influenced a subsequent murder in his own area, my brother. We have to be responsible with our behavior, because what you...
Yeah, and in a video, Umar, he's a hypocrite. Umar, in a video, he said that you must forgive your parents. I know the video, he actually said a couple of times, you must forgive your parents, but look at how he cussed out his father. You right.
You do, what I do affects all of us.
Hey, check this out. I got a brother. My brother was killed. My brother was killed in 2011. My family, we forgave the person that killed my brother. What are you saying to me?
Was your brother murdered by the police? Was he murdered by a black person? Was he murdered by a white person? Give me context.
Black person.
Okay. A black person murdered your brother. Under what pretense? Was it drugs? Was it accidental? Was it a fight?
Robbery.
What was the pretense?
Robbery. Yeah, and we forgave that person. So what are you saying to me?
And y'all forgave the person.
Right.
Who was black.
Right.
Guess what? I take no issue with what y'all did.
Told y'all. Told y'all you got to watch yourself on this race bullshit. Now what? It gets worse though. Watch.
I take no issue with what y'all did. You know why? Because there is a whole story behind that brother who became that killer. He was a black male who suffered structural racism in the form of miseducation, economic castration, who knows what he went through personally in his own life, psychologically, and it was those circumstances into which he was born, over which he had little control, that led to that murder. And your family understanding that and understanding the need for black people to forgive.
No, that's not the reason we did it.
Family.
Told y'all to be careful with this race bullshit. I told you way before, but y'all kept running your mouth this month. I'm fair. See? Umar doesn't believe in forgiveness, and he doesn't believe in letting other people decide to forgive or not forgive. It's his way or the highway. And all of this is seen through the lens not of forgiveness, no. Or compassion, no. No. It's seen through the lens of racist ideology. That's it. What Umar would call global white supremacy. And in this case, because it's a black man killing another black man, then forgiveness is okay. Because it's two black people, and it's a black person that killed the other black person. But you let it be a white person, and now it's a problem. Can't forgive that. See, the issue is not even so much forgiveness. It's the ability to choose when you were going to forgive, how, at what point, or when you're going to decide not to forgive. But see, it's a moot point when it comes to Umar, because at the end of the day, if it's a black person killing another black person, yeah, well, let's forgive. But if it's a white person killing a black person, we should. Let me tell y'all one other thing, goofy ass. If that white police officer was a black police officer, many of y'all wouldn't be tripping. But let's say that it was a black police officer who killed Botham Jean. And let's say in that moment, Botham Jean's brother decided to forgive this black police officer. Would that have been okay? For y'all, even it don't really matter what the fuck you think. It's a personal choice. But would that have made a difference because they're both black? See, some of y'all be like, yeah, he should have forgave him now. Oh, no, that's fine now. Oh, yeah, I know it affected the sentencing, but that's okay because it's a black man. See, here we go. Y'all need to be careful with that race shit. That's the point. Don't get me going off today. See, I told y'all in advance, but y'all kept running your mouth. It's a personal choice. And if race is what is dictating you and how you choose to forgive or not, you got a problem. I'm going to leave it right there. Didn't Umar Johnson ask for context? He's writing fiction. He sure is. He's creating a whole new narrative now. And this black, and you see how it's all, sad. I was started hearing violins in the background, and he has a whole story, and he had a hard childhood, and he had economic struggles, and he couldn't get a job because of the white man. Umar started doing like this, and that's why he killed that. So yeah, you should forgive him. I told y'all. Y'all be running your mouth. I apologize. I hope I ain't going off too much, Cook Crutch. Let me know if I am. Okay, it's nothing personal. I just don't like this idea of having a dictatorial mentality about other people. Okay. For those y'all into all that race shit, that's like it's similar to like, you know, white racists who want to dictate to black people how they should be behaved, but then now y'all gonna do it to black people? Come on, cut it out. It's foolishness. All right, let's go.
The reason we the reason we chose to forgive is because it's a Christ-like thing to do. It has nothing to do with making an excuse to how the brother was grown up.
Listen to me. You forgiving a member of the African family is totally different than forgiving a killer who is part of a machine who has
the black guy that killed the black guy is not a killer then? We got about 800 people in the building. Hit the like button if you like it. All you racists, no, I'm just not go through y'all like that. That's too far. I apologize. Here we go.
The deliberate agenda to assassinate black life. Those are two different things. You are confusing an individual black man's mistake with
every once in a while. I don't know. I'll say your name. Every once in a while, I go off. But you see this. Listen to what Umar says right here. It gets a lot worse.
You are confusing an individual black man's mistake with an entire system's agenda to exterminate Africans.
Now I don't.
So it was a mistake. The guy killed the other guy. The black guy killed the other black. What you mean a mistake? It was a robbery. What are you talking about, Umar? See that? All right.
I don't make an excuse.
You are mixing apples and oranges. Stop trying to use Jesus and Christianity as an excuse for Negroes to coon in public and make excuses for behaviors that are politically irresponsible, that have consequences for all of us, black man.
So
come on, brother.
So we're supposed to hate them.
You care about your people more than that. Come on.
So we're supposed to hate them, even though they've wronged us. We don't agree.
The word hate. So why did you say that?
Because when you don't forgive a person,
why did you just bring up the word hate?
Because let me answer why I brought up hate. When you don't forgive a person and you harbor unforgiveness in your heart, that leads to what? Hate. So I'm just saying, why would I want to walk around? I don't forgive people. Listen to this, Dr. Umar. I don't forgive people for people. I forgive people for me. It's for my peace.
Brother, come on. Let me deal with what you just said. You said if you don't forgive a person, it can turn into hate. First of all, I don't agree that not forgiving someone automatically turns to hate. I do not agree with that. Second of all, we're not talking about an individual, my brother. We're talking about an institution. The United States Police Force is an institution that was created in the days of slavery to patrol and control Negro behavior so that it does not become a threat to the power structure.
So if a white police officer kills a white, an unarmed white man, is it the same then though? See, I just think it's an exaggeration. It's like Umar, he's stretching the boundaries on this. And it's a false equivalency because if you're going to tell someone and dictate to someone who they should forgive, when, and what context they should forgive, shouldn't that be all the way across the board? But if it's a black man forgiving a white police officer, it's wrong. But if it's a black man forgiving another black man, then it's okay. See, Umar, he's stretching the boundaries here. It's interesting. I see what he's doing, but it gets a lot worse. Here we go.
We're not talking about an individual. Amber Geiger was not acting as an individual. She was.
Yes, she was. Umar, cut it out.
Acting as part of a machine.
No, she wasn't. Cut it out. Stretching.
A machine.
It's what you call reaching.
Whose intent is to eliminate black life.
No. Most black people are being eliminated by black people, Umar. What machine are you talking about? Anyway, that's the fact.
Brother,
hey, let me show you this.
Apples and oranges.
All right, let's put apples to apples then. Okay, let's look at it from.
They show us apples to apples now.
Here you go. He getting sassy.
Okay, let's look at it from my narrative. You say that Amber Guyger was acting on behalf of an institution. Well, let's look at the people that crucified and killed Jesus, who was acting also on behalf of an institution. It was not just one man that wanted Jesus killed. It was an institution. Jesus yet still forgave the institution.
Turned him into the white man.
He forgave the
to the white man. There weren't no white. What you talking about? White people, it's a modern invention. What are you talking about, Umar? Turn him into the white man. You see how I mean by him stretching stuff? Umar is wild.
Institution. Malcolm and King and everybody else was murdered. A group of coons. Okay? It was
it doesn't even fit the definition though, Umar. Whatever.
The elder Hebrews who turned that brother into the devil to be massacred. That is nothing new. We've seen it play over and over and over again. So what are you saying? We're supposed to be.
There was no white people back then, Umar. Cut it out. It's a modern day invention. It's a social construct.
Give the murderers of our leaders.
Huh? No one back then called themselves white, Umar. Anyway.
It's not that.
No, sir.
It's not that.
Politically effeminate behavior.
It's not that we're making an excuse or we're justifying their behaviors, but we do have to come to a place of forgiveness. That's the right thing to do.
Sir.
Well, listen, again, a person has the right to forgive. That person has the right not to forgive.
Okay. You do not forgive enemies. No, sir. You forgive within your race because you.
That's interesting. So if again, a white person can be an enemy, but a black person can't. Interesting. Really interesting.
Enemies. No, sir. You forgive within your race because your race is not your enemy. No matter what you do to you, my brother.
So you're going to die harboring unforgiveness.
A police.
You're going to die.
Assassinations are not accidents.
Yeah, you're right, Ray. Umar telling people who they should forgive is a part of his God complex. And again, anyone else who's fallen, if you fell for that, you need to check yourself. You really do. Right? Again, I can't tell people who they should forgive and who they should not forgive. But if you think that you can dictate to someone else who they should forgive and who they should not, you got a problem. You got to check yourself. Very well said, Ray.
Police assassinations are not accidents. Police assassinations are not accidents.
The people who killed my brother wasn't an accident.
If you follow,
see what he said? The people who killed his brother was an accident. Isn't it interesting? Umar feels like he can dictate to this guy what he's supposed to feel about his own brothers. That's crazy.
The Amber Guyger trial, you would know that right after she murdered Botham John, she expressed no remorse for the murder at all. Did you see the text messages? Did you see the phone calls that she made, my brother? She wasn't sorry for what she did.
You can't see the phone calls, but you can't see the text messages.
Even made racially hostile comments about black folk.
And
they don't give a.
Okay, Umar, you've made racially hostile comments about black people. What are you talking about? Anyway, you call for the murder of 10% of black boys. Anyway. Isn't that what I just said? What about the 10% of black boys he wanted to kill because he can't spell psychology? Boy, that's funny because he can't psychologize everybody. Exactly. That was just what I was saying. Anyway, thank you for being a member. Let's go.
Damn about us.
And that's why we don't justify.
Like you, forgiving killers of black folks is why they're going to keep on give a damn about us.
And that's why we don't justify.
Like you.
He's calling a Negro, but watch this.
Forgiving killers of black folks is why they're going to keep on killing us because they know they can get away with it and be forgiven before they even commit the act. Come on, brother. Come on.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to hear that. The daughter was murdered, and I will never forgive that. But I also don't hold anger inside any longer. Well, God bless you. And you have that right. You know, you have that right. The point is that we should dictate to people whether they should forgive or not. That's a personal choice, right? At the end of the day. All right. And I'm sorry for your loss. All right, let's keep going. Here we go.
On.
I disagree with you, Dr. Umar, but let's move to something else. Because you had
and
said,
that's why we need the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, because you was conditioned to believe that way. Botham John's brother was conditioned to believe that way.
That's right.
See,
you're right.
That mindset is a byproduct of public school and Sunday school. It is the black church and the white public school who are in cahoots with each other.
This is now he's reaching conspiracy theories.
To brainwash every black male in this country and turn us all into politically effeminate Negroes.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to turn every one of us into that. And also, even for those
the comments you just made was politically effeminate.
No. I think that
Talking
that's
about
your.
We gotta forgive police killers, brother. They've been killing us for 400 years. Are you out of your mind? You got that much forgiveness in your heart that you forgave every single one, since the beginning of time.
I don't think he ever said that. What are you talking about? He never said that. He said he forgave the person who killed his brother, Umar. See, Umar be reaching. And overwhelming, the people who are killing other black people are not police officers, other black people.
And the sad thing is,
how many times shall you forgive your brother?
That's not benevolence, brother.
How many times? 70.
The man's supposed to protect the community, brother. The men are supposed to protect the
Umar, you're a deadbeat. What are you talking about?
community. If you running around forgiving the killers, who gonna protect our women and kids? You out there forgiving. Don't nobody be forgiving on a war field, brother. Come on. We going into 2020. We got to wake up and change that now.
This is from 2019. You talk about that's why we need the school open.
We love everybody but ourselves.
I think the biggest difference is that my beliefs are built upon Christ's principles.
Your religious beliefs
exactly
are blinding you to our political reality. That's all it is.
I mean, you could say that because you don't understand.
Your religious beliefs
you don't understand my views
to our political reality
because you're not a Christian.
You don't understand white supremacy because if you.
So political reality is that you forgive black people who kill other black people, but you don't forgive white people who kill black people. That's political reality.
You would know that the Bible has no place in how we deal with racism because the Bible does not address racism. We have to address racism.
Yeah,
and I don't need a 2,000-year-old book to tell me how to survive and protect my people.
You gave a lot of respect to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. earlier.
Absolutely.
And he built
Absolutely.
The civil rights movement was precedent upon what? What did Dr. King teach? What did he teach? The Bible.
What did he teach?
The Bible.
I ain't got a problem with the Bible, brother. Marcus Garvey was a Christian. Bishop Henry McNeil Turner was a Christian. Henry Highland Garnett was a Christian. I'm giving you the fathers of Pan Africanism. They was all men of the church, but they wasn't running around forgiving Ku Klux Klan. They wasn't.
It's a false equivalency, Umar.
Running around forgiving the police for killing black folks. They was standing up and fighting back. That's what they was doing.
Dr. King was a non-violent
activist. They believe in your same book that they behaved the way you behave. No. They did not behave the way you behave.
Dr. King,
they did not think the way that you think. The Bible is neutral. It's how you use it.
Notice how Umar will not let him talk on his radio show?
The Bible. I don't have a problem with the Bible, and I don't have a problem with Christianity. I have a problem with weak-ass black men who use the Bible and Christianity as an excuse not to stand up and stand out for their people.
You stand for something, Dr. Umar.
Umar, you don't even stand up for your own children.
But you got to also realize that your lenses aren't, you don't pick up everything. And I noticed that this morning. There's some things that's out of your view. And that's what I'm trying to show you. That's
out of my view, my brother. The problem
you're not seeing it all.
Your religion provides you with a tunnel vision that doesn't allow you to see the context and what's going on.
I see everything.
Like, look at our conversation right now. Look at our conversation.
I see everything you're saying, but it's not making.
But look at the conversation.
And you have
for the
made
past 10 minutes, we've been debating forgiveness of police assassination. Why in the hell is there any black man in America wanting to forgive a police assassin for doing something they've been instructed to do and have consistently done for 400 years, and yet your religion has brainwashed you into believing you have to forgive police assassinations?
No, it's not that he had to forgive. He chose to forgive in that moment, Umar. That's his right.
On behalf of the United States government, Lord have mercy. We pray to the same God now. Make no mistake, we pray to the same God.
I don't know about that, Umar.
I'm not sure about that.
Christ, but we still, well, see, you're not sure about that. You know why? Because you love white folks so much that you now have to disengage from your brother.
It has nothing to do with white or black. It has to do with love or hate.
It does.
It has to.
Yes, that's where you're wrong. That is exactly where you're wrong.
I'm saying love, and you're speaking hate.
White or black. Can I ask you a question then?
I'm listening.
We 20% of the country. Why we ain't got 20% of the banks?
Because you stay in your mama closet.
Why we ain't got 20% of the police force?
You spoke
Because you live in your mama closet.
that earlier.
Why we ain't got 20% of the government jobs?
You spoke
Because you live in your mama closet.
Why
that
haven't we
earlier.
had 20% of the presidents? Why
Because you live in your mama closet.
we don't own 20% of the hospitals?
Because you live in your mama closet.
20% of the supermarkets, 20%
You live in your mama closet. You live in your mama closet.
of the car lots. You know why?
Because you live in your mama closet. That's why. You bum. Umar got everything to say about black people, but he ain't got not one job. He been homeless since 2019. He been scamming on this FDMG school scam and collected millions of dollars. He a baby mama creator, don't take care of not one of his kids. He got 3 baby mama. Getting his license revoked, driver's license revoked for non-payment of child support, been in arrears for over 20 years. What kind of man? Anyway, he got to tell everybody, you need to be doing all this stuff. Why ain't you doing all this stuff? Because you in your mama closet, that's why.
There's one race who has created a system to permanently disenfranchise the other. It is about black and white. And the reason you can't see it is because that damn book you believe in, not the book, the Bible.
See that? Then he tried to correct himself. See that? Like I said, I'm not Christian, but I got respect. I don't know what God you praying to, Umar, but I'm not sure about what you talking about.
The Bible's innocent. The Bible's innocent. Because Marcus Garvey believed in that same Bible you use. But your conditioning.
Marcus Garvey had 2 wives too, by the way. He was stepping out. We ain't gonna get into that right now.
Your particular conditioning makes it almost impossible for you to see that you are being used as a weapon. The way you think is being used as a weapon against your people.
Dr. Umar, I got a question for you. I'm through with politics. I want to know, how do people...
We never through with politics, brother, because everything is political. But go ahead with the question.
There you go.
You saying that was political.
I'm definitely through with the religious talk, because
the religion, the most political thing in the black community. When y'all get rid of that white Jesus, then we can talk about religion.
Who said he was white?
He's not white, but I'm willing to bet if I go to your church, he white. If I open your Bible, I bet you he white.
Nah, you probably got some
I
of
go
them.
to Florida, I bet you he white. Don't you sit here and lie to me. You know like I know. I done spoken damn near every state in this country and on every...
He done spoken every state in the country? Cut it out, Umar. A dude is so distant from the streets. My best friend is a parole officer. The new flex is not money or women, it's bodies. How many bodies murders? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And I wasn't raised in the streets. I got street smarts, but I have family members who was out there. Because I was more focused on music. But I got close relatives and cousins, and then even the previous generation, it was gangbanging. And then I went to a school, Old Farrell, which was off of Skyline. It was East Side Piru territory. There was another gang over there around that way too. I can't remember. They used to wear green. I remember they had these Samoan Bloods too. They was real crazy. Even the Black Bloods were scared of them because they just crazy. Anyway, that was in the 80s. And I can't tell you how many times you go to school and your friend or one of your friends or one of the homies, they don't show up and they're gonna got caught up in some street mess. It wasn't white people doing that to us. It was us. We wouldn't want doing that to us. I had cousins who was participating in that. I remember there was this. I don't think they were twins. Were they? I don't know. Yeah, they were twins. They were named Myron and Byron. I can't remember if they were twins or not, but they were named Myron and Byron. And they was real cool with me. And we had PE together. I think I had a class with one of them too in another class. This was at Old Farrell. And I remember one of them after a couple of years, you can tell he was going in a different direction. We were still cool. I was always cool with the people with the what Umar would call thugs these days. Because I had family members who was thugging. But I remember it was Myron and Byron, and I can't remember which one, but Myron was more laid back. His brother was more aggressive. Myron was more laid back. Byron was more aggressive. And I remember at a certain point, they stopped coming to school. And then everyone was talking about a drive-by where people had gotten killed. Come to find out, Byron was the shooter. And I was shocked because I would have assumed that it was, wait, I got that backwards. Anyway, I assumed they would have been the twin that was more aggressive and not as laid back. So the point that I'm getting at is that in my experience growing up in Southern California, what people call black on black crime, that was the norm. It wasn't police. Again, there was all kind of stuff happening, but the people that were killing black people the most was black people. And that's the reality of the situation. And it's the case to this day, unfortunately. I can tell you all kind of crazy stories. One of my homeboys, Alonzo, was Alfonso. He was tall. He was a blood. He used to come to school all red, and then he would have black batting gloves, and every other word was blood, blood. My cousin used to talk like that too. We couldn't say any C words around him because they'll beat us up. Couldn't say cat. We had to say bat. You know, they used to call Crips crabs. They would still keep the C, but they would call them crab. Anyway, he was real cool. He was in band with me, and he was taller. He was a little more rough around the edges and aggressive, and he was older. And one time there was these dudes, it was three of them that was messing with me in the hallway. I was going to the band class. They was just, you know, how kids can be, children can be, they messing with people. They was messing with me. And Alfonso came around the corner and saw it, and he was like, "What y'all doing? What y'all doing, blood?" And it was like, and I said, "What they?" And he looked at what they saw. They just messing with me. This ain't no thing. He said, "No, F that, blood, blood." He went off. Right? He went off on them. They stopped messing with me after that. Yeah, so he was a cool dude. Then we went to band class, no problem. Okay. It was probably a couple of months later. I remember I was in math class, and the math teacher, his name was Mr. Yoshida. It was an Asian dude, and word started spreading, and people were talking about it, and because my homie, he stopped coming to school, and come to find out he got killed in a drive-by situation. So a lot of us, we have those types of stories that we can tell. I wasn't out there in the streets like that. No, I was focused on music. I was very much to myself, kind of reserved, but I had plenty of friends and family members, close and distant family, that they was in that gangs in them streets like that. Some of them dealing drugs and all that stuff too. The point that I'm getting to is that in my experience, the most amount of pain and suffering that was inflicted upon people that I knew growing up was by black people, not by the police. Okay. And I'm gonna leave it right there. That's why I'm saying people have to be careful with getting caught up in this racism stuff, because sometimes people stretch it too far. See, and then it's a misdirection, because what we really should be focusing on is ourselves and raising our children to not get out there and behave like that. See, people be throwing these statistics. Every 1 in every 3 boys don't graduate from us. Listen, all my sons are going to be, 2 of them already graduated from high school. All of them will be graduating from high school. See what I'm saying? Umar don't know nothing about that. You guys have to be careful with that. I know this is kind of a side, we're kind of on a side quest here, but it's relevant. It's all relevant, because Umar, he's a hypocrite at the end of the day. It gets worse though. We're almost done with this. Got about 2 minutes on this. Here we go.
Then we could talk about religion.
Who said he was white?
He's not white, but I'm willing to bet if I go to your church, he white. If I open your Bible, I bet you he white.
Nah, you probably got some
I
of them.
go to Florida, I bet you he white. Don't you sit here and lie to me. You know like I know. I done spoken damn near every state in this country and on every continent on this planet except for Australia. 99% of all Jesus images in the black community in the world is
he doesn't know that.
White. You know it and I know it, so stop that.
All right, so how do people receive you, man, when you go into churches? Because I disagree with the
They
things.
love me. I'm a breath of fresh air.
Let me finish what I'm saying here. I'm making a
going
point.
on the date.
Umar is wild.
Jesus Christ, August the 21st. According to the Urantia Bible, Jesus Christ was born on August the 21st, brother. I come on the same day as the Christ.
I disagree with the way.
December 25th is not the birth of Jesus.
Listen to me,
Jesus
Dr.
was
Umar.
a Leo. That's why they gave him frankincense and myrrh and gold when he was born, because frankincense and myrrh and gold is the elements of the Leo child.
You can't tell me nothing about Jesus, Dr. Umar.
Let's drop the fact. December 25th ain't got nothing to do with the birth of Christ.
Nobody says it does.
Umar tripping.
But you can't tell me.
But he got a God complex. He actually believes that he's the Messiah. He's called himself the Black Christ.
Anything about Jesus with the point of view that you've given me today, you can't tell me anything about Jesus.
Conditioned, my brother.
And not only that,
conditioned with a docile Negro version of Christianity.
Dr. Umar, I'm gonna say this, man, and we'll shut it down right here. I think that it's a disgrace to bring you in the church, man. So I think we're going to switch that event. I'm going to go talk with the pastor, man. It need to be outside because I disagree with the way you have spoke this morning, man. And you talk good about a lot of things and you won't.
Well, you know what?
And you educating a lot of people.
And
but
you know what?
Listen,
That's a damn shame.
Let me talk,
That's
bro. I listen to you, though.
Damn shame.
Nah, you need to be out the door with that,
man.
man.
Of a nigga you are. You know why?
He's on a Christian radio show. And he called this Christian brother the N-word. I'm not a Christian, okay? Not like going to church or anything like that. So I don't want people to think that I'm biased or anything like that. I got respect. He on a Christian radio show. He gonna call it. After all of this ranting and raging, this is a Umar rant actually. Okay, it's just not in the. I wouldn't put it in the top 5. I probably wouldn't put it in the top 10. But this is another Umar rant. But he ends up calling this Christian radio show host the N-word. I'm gonna play it one more time. Listen. See, that's what I'm saying. Umar's whole premise in getting all into race stuff, he always reveals his true character in the end. That's why when people fall into that, you have to be careful because Umar, he's only saying it to get the effect that he's getting on you. Wake up. This is no different than what he does with his followers. Y'all be careful with that shit because he knows what he's doing. And some of y'all, you'll fall right on in line. Okay. So you fall in line with that shit, but you're not cool with the school scam shit? All right. That's your choice. It's on you, not me. Be careful.
Bro, I listen to you, though.
Damn shame.
Nah, you need to be out the door with that,
man. Of a nigga you are. You know why? Because I'm coming down there to help our parents help their kids.
Yeah, but you can't help us. No, you can't help us by telling us to not forgive. You can't help us by telling us not to forgive.
All respect for you.
Well, I lost mine for you about 20 minutes ago,
and
bro.
I'm the only person that can help their parents help them. And because I don't agree with your damn religion.
No, we want to help.
I don't agree with your religion. You want to get the event. You ain't nothing but a coon and a nigga.
No, we want.
He did it twice, y'all.
I'm off this show.
Bye.
He did it twice. See? Real quick, Fred made an important point. I want to address this. Sometimes people like myself ran into racial abuse further than others. I agree with you about working on ourselves, but some see and undergo more than others. You're right about that. You're right about that. But you shouldn't assume that someone else hasn't gone through what you've gone through or hasn't gone through worse either, right? Don't get it twisted. I've dealt with it. I'm about to be 50. People can't tell me nothing about all that, dealing with the race and all the racism and all that stuff. No, I've been through it. Trust me. Right? But that's not the issue here. The issue is not race. Right? The issue is whether or not someone can dictate to someone else whether they should forgive or not. That's the issue. See, he's only using race as a triggering. It's like a trigger to get people triggered based upon their own race-based trauma so that they will take his side. You guys have to be very careful about that because that's what you call a master manipulator. He's the great deceiver of time. That's what Sauron was doing in The Rings of Power. You guys go watch carefully. That's what he was doing. That's what Senator Palpatine was doing. And people fall in line. And all of a sudden you got a dictatorship taking place, which is what Umar wants. See, Umar wants to play on your racial or trauma based on racism. Okay. There's not a black person that I know of that hasn't experienced that. Is there any black person up in here who hasn't experienced racism? Come on now, let's be real about it. See, but Umar, he wants to stretch that out and tap into that trauma, just like he taps into the fears and trauma of black women, single black mothers who are worried about their sons going to the school to prison pipeline. So people, be very careful. That's the point. See, this is an opportunity for us to see Umar in action. He can even get some of you all who recognize that he's a con man and a scam artist, get you riled up within the racial aspect of this, not because he necessarily believes it, but because he knows that he can use it as a manipulative ploy to trigger you so that you will take his side. See, that's what he's been doing with his followers, dealing with this FDMG school scam. It's not different, nothing different, right? But Fred, listen, I can respect that. Right? Plenty of us have gone through it. See? But at the end of the day, in my experience, overwhelmingly, the tragedies and the traumas that I experienced in my life, I'm almost 50, has been at the hands of black people. Someone can say, yeah, but that's because of proximity. Yeah, all right. And, okay. Thank you, Fred, for the comment. Okay, we're going to get back on track now. Okay, we're already 3 hours. We've got 800 people in the building. There is a poll question. I haven't checked into that. I don't know how we're doing on likes. User 225 says, the nerve of Umar Johnson to call Christianity outdated as a damn Pan Africanist. You know, he's too scared to say the same about Islam. The thing, though, is Umar, he's conflicted, though, too, because he was raised as a Sunni Muslim, then an Orthodox Sunni Muslim, but then his father converted, too. I don't know if he converted as well. He also, his grandmother was Jehovah's Witness. His mama was Christian. And then he had an uncle who was a 5%er. I think that's what it was. Gods of Earth, 5%ers, right? And then later on in life, he gets into Ifa. So he has all these different, it's like an amalgamation of things. He picks different things at different times to tap into different demographics in terms of religion is concerned. But Umar, his hatred for the black church is overwhelming. You don't see him have that same hatred towards Islam. You don't see him have that same level of hatred towards Ifa. In fact, I think Ifa is what he promotes mainly these days. You just don't see it. But he has extreme levels of hate for the black church. And part of the reason why is because Umar has seen the black church as something that has been a powerful institution to impact black people over the years. Am I saying it's perfect? No, that's not what I'm saying. But that it has had a major impact on the upliftment of black people. And he wants that position. He wants to be seen as the savior. Same thing we were talking about earlier. He'll disrespect all these different successful black people, but it's clout chasing as we kind of redirect this. He wants to be on that level, whether it's Barack Obama, Mike Tyson, Shaq, Dave Chappelle. Okay, he disrespected Dave Chappelle quite a few times, and Dave Chappelle's wife, who's Filipina. But then when Umar sees Dave Chappelle, he's all smiles. Okay, we're going to get back to this. Thank you, user 225. Real quick, I know I told people that I had a receipt to show you that the buildings in Wilmington, Delaware, that it had a cafeteria. I want to show that to you all just so that I can get this out the way. And this is on the other side of the street that Umar plans on opening up the small building in. There's no cafeteria facility there. So I don't know how he's going to figure out managing that. Right. So let me share this. I'm gonna take because there's music in the background. I'm gonna take the music off and I'll skip through the part. This is an older video. I want to thank the person who sent this to me because in my research I hadn't found it. Okay, let me skip through because I don't want to be showing the kids. Yeah, here it is right here. Yeah, we saw some of these. I thought they were refrigerators, but yeah, they are. They're refrigerators back here, but there's ovens too. We saw two of them that were left in one of the videos yesterday. So this is the cafeteria. It's not even a cafeteria. This is, yeah, it's a cafeteria. I guess you can call it that. You can see this. They have the food prep. These prep stations. Those aren't. I didn't see those in there anymore. And I saw only thing that was left in there were two of these. It looked like the two refrigerators, but it may be two ovens or a refrigerator and an oven. Everything else was stripped and gone out of there. Okay, so I just wanted to show that because someone sent that to me, and I know in the past I said that there weren't any cafeteria. And I was incorrect about that. I already issued a retraction on that based on the research. Later on, I found out that, yeah, there was on the other side of the street that there were, and I showed it just now. And I said this before I got this receipt, the actual video proof of this. And then someone sent me, they may have seen that other video where I was talking about that there was a cafeteria on the other side of the street. And then they sent me a link to that video and I downloaded it more recent. So I want to thank that person. Again, it's irrelevant though, because Umar is not working on that side of the street. He's only working on the side of the street where the small, what he calls a small school and the small gym. So I don't know how he's going to mitigate that issue. There's no cafeteria space on in the small school. So I don't know what he's going to do. Right. Someone said it looks like Chipotle. me and my wife, we went to Chipotle today without the kids. Don't tell them. We were like, let's go. We rarely are able to do that. Like once every 4 years or so, we had to sneak, y'all. And then we had to hide all evidence and everything. Anyway, if you got kids and you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's get back to what we were going to focus on here. All right, we've been on a bit of an excursion, and I'll just to let you guys know, I did block someone, and I think I've probably blocked. I probably block a person like once every 6 months, 6 months to a year. I rarely do it. But the thing is that the person was acting up yesterday. I was very patient and they get in here acting up today. I'm very lenient. I rarely do that. Very rarely. But in this case, listen, I had enough of it. Okay. All right. Thank you all again for tuning on in. We got about 800 people in the building. Let's I want to share one other thing too before we get into the Dave Chappelle thing. And I don't want to carry this over to tomorrow. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to live stream or not, but I want to share something with you all. Umar, and this was for when he was painting in here by himself. I just want you guys to see Umar's behavior. Check this out.
Breakfast Club, July 9th. We gonna see.
Again, he's doing this to get money out of people. Okay. You right, Marcus.
Woo! We making it do what it do. Hit the cash app.
No. I wouldn't listen.
FDMG.
I wouldn't do that. I would not. Very rarely do I do it. And this person was new. Okay. You've been around. The thing is that I have tolerance. Like I have a grace, and I'll see people's comments. Sometimes I don't see, and then people get blocked by the mods. Mods handle business. But there are some people that I can see their comments and I'll see what they're doing. And it's more like instigating. I mean, there was a couple people doing it today, but the thing is that if people do it, okay, I get it. But if they're new and then they do it consistently, like the last live stream, already know what they're here for. And I've been at this for a long time, so I already know what to look out for. So that's why I blocked them. So I don't want people to think that I'm like on a blocking campaign. Very rarely, maybe. Well, let me say it this way: when it comes to live streams, maybe once every 6 months, maybe. Right now, I block people if they send me comments or they'll post crazy stuff. I'll block them, but it's not during a live. I'm talking about in the chat room. Maybe once every 6 months. Maybe I need to up that. But I mean, if you've been here. And there's a level of respect and you're not causing chaos and just being disagreeable just to troll and to get a response. Because that's what people were doing yesterday. I just kind of played along with it. Some people are doing that today. I play along with it too sometimes because it allows me to kind of get a little more animated, and people like to see that too. It's more entertainment. It's not like I'm mad or anything like that. But when it comes to I'm very lenient, but I also I can tell why people are doing what they're doing. And then if I see it enough while I'm live streaming, then I'll just go ahead and block them. Okay, but I very rarely do I do that. Okay. All right, here we go.
School, hit the cash app. We painting this room Orunbi green. We painting this room.
This room look horrible.
Orunbi green. Oh yes. Stop worrying about my face, Mr. Zesty.
Stop worrying about paint on my face. It's called being a laborer, hard-working black man. Where my queens at? Where the queens at who can appreciate the hard-working prince of Pan Africanism? They think it's all about the microphone. They think it's all about the microphone. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Y'all think it's about a microphone. Y'all don't see the work that gets done off the stage. Y'all don't see the work that get done.
Hey, Umar, wow.
Hit the Cash App, $ FDMG School. Hit the Cash App.
See, that's why he's up here, because he needs money. Not to open up a school. He needs money for the plug. That's why he's looking like this. Look at him. Smoked out.
Hit the Cash App, $ FDMG School.
He's so confused in there. He don't know what he's doing. Look at his eyes. I've been trying to tell y'all, he's a pookie. He'll paint to get money.
Hit the Cash App. I need to go up top. Hit the Cash App.
He don't know what he's doing. I can tell. He had him 3 drinks.
King Kong consciousness is coming tonight. Everything's gonna be all right. Say Big Papa, 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 Papa. Say Big Papa, 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 Papa. Say Big Papa, Papa, Papa.
That's y'all's principle. I ran into that today and I said, what in the, that's y'all's principle, not mine. And thanks, Ray. If I didn't thank you for the super, thank you so much. User says the nerve of Umar Johnson to call Christianity outdated as a damn Pan African. Oh yeah, I got this one. All right. Yeah, thank you. User 225. Jay Civic says look like no one showed up for paint day. I think this was probably in the evening time. There were people that came to paint. The thing is that Umar, he's up there because he has his the plug that come through. So he gets online while he's at the school. I'm gonna tell y'all something. And I don't think that this is the case at the beginning, because I'm always fair with Umar. What I mean by that is I don't think it was the case when Umar first acquired these abandoned buildings for it to turn out to be this. But over the last 4 years at least, these abandoned buildings, it could be the last 5 years. And I know where to look too, by the way. I know the video to look at, because Umar was sitting out there and the plug was walking by and he goes like this. He looks at him and he goes like this. Okay, that's a little sign. He goes to his nose. That's a little sign that he wants some stuff. And he continues to talk. And y'all remember this? This is an old video. Umar continues to talk, and then when the plug comes back with the stuff, Umar quickly ends the live stream. So, in my opinion, Jay Civic, and I don't think this was in 2019 that it got to this point, and I think it was in 2020, because 2020, 2021, it was hard years for Umar. Okay, he really had a tough time, okay, with that substance stuff. Umar what has happened is that when he goes up there to get money. And it's not to open up a school, because if you're live streaming yourself doing something up there, let's say doing a cleanup day, let's say a paint day, because he's been doing a lot of those, and you're telling people to get on your Cash App, why are you up there at that time of the night? Why wouldn't it make more sense to just do it tomorrow? Unless you really need the money right then and there. See, everything is desperation with this guy. One time he was up there at 1 a.m. Why are you up at these abandoned buildings by yourself at 1 a.m. telling people to get on their Cash App? And I don't even see him doing anything. He was tweaking. That's what he was doing. He was pouring water on his head. Y'all remember this? Why is he doing that? Is there anything that he's doing up there that can't wait till tomorrow during normal, human, because he don't have normal human hours either. He got that dope fiend hours. Let's be real about it today. Been going off too much, but let's be real about it. He got dope fiend hours. So, but why can't he wait until tomorrow to get the quote unquote work done? Because he's not up there to get the work done per se. He's up there to get money out of people. He wants to give the illusion that he's working so that people send him money. That's why he tells people to get on his Cash App, get on the PayPal. Because he needs the money right now. That's what this has turned into. At this point, that's all it is. See, and what happens is when Umar, he goes and he's right now, he's going, he has different speaking engagements. His speaking engagements are going to be picking up because I look at the schedule. Okay, good for him. They'll give him a place to stay. He'll have room and board. But he always has to come back because he got to get that stuff. That's what it's turned into. So Umar going up there to pretend that he's getting work done is just a way for him to get more money so that he can get more of what that plug be bringing him. That's all this comes down to. See, and I don't mean to say it this way, but it has brought me peace, because not that it's a good thing, but it's brought me peace because I'm a person who always tries to make things make sense. And I could never understand why Umar would just be up there acting over and over again. We getting work, we working odd hours, we working, ain't nobody up there but him. And it just doesn't make any sense. I'm always trying to now it makes sense. We saw the video a couple of months ago, maybe a month or a couple of months ago, where Umar Johnson was up there for no good reason, saying we working or whatever. And he's out in the front, and he had the buildings behind him like he always does, and he's talking, running his mouth, and then someone comes out. Y'all remember this? Hit the one. It's the plug comes out of the building. You see the door open, he walks out. Umar, because Umar's live streaming this way, he sees him in the camera, so he looks back and he gets off the live stream. I said, why did he get off so quick? And then he does another live stream. He's inside and he's going crazy, yelling, walking fast, pacing back and forth. So what's going on here? Something wasn't right. And he's walking through the halls, and then he gets to that door. It's the teacher's lounge. And he starts grabbing it and shaking it like this. They locked me out. Who locked you out? They locked me out of the teacher's lounge. I can't. Yeah. See, then I put the pieces together. He was just tweaking. He was fiending. That's what it was. I figured it out. Umar doesn't do a direct handoff. The plug don't come and put it right in his hand. The plug goes into the building, and Umar has a room set up where the plug do the drop off. He probably has the money sitting there for him. That's what he calls him in advance. I'm listening, meet me up here at such and such time. We working. Got to get this work done. And Umar wait for the plug to come through. That's why he's live streaming, wait for and there's plenty of times where this has happened, where the plug, he's waiting, and then as soon as for some reason he has to get off real fast because the delivery has been made. And Umar starts going nuts. He's shaking on the door, screaming and stuff, acting a doggone fool. And then the light bulb went off. And then he says, I got to get a locksmith. I got to get a lock. What's in there? It's a teacher's lounge. What do you need in there so bad at that time? What's going on here? Can't you just wait till tomorrow? And why don't you have the key, sir? See, the plug accidentally locked the door. And Umar lost it. That's when it all clicked. There's other examples that I've shown in the past about Umar and his substance abuse, but that's when I said, okay, now I understand. It puts me at peace. Now I understand why Umar gets up and he says we're working when he's not working. He's just doing that so that his plug is already on the way or about to make the drop off. He needs the money so he can have the money to set up in there inside the teacher's lounge. And that's all this shit has come down to. It's really that simple, and I'm at peace. So you Umar Johnson followers, you understand that what you are donating to is Umar's imagination, like someone said. Can't remember who it was. Shout out to that person. But you're also donating to his substance abuse issue. And he has converted this school scam into a funnel to feed his addiction. And it's really that simple. I'm at peace. So that's why it don't matter if anyone shows up. It don't matter. Because it's not about the work, it's about the money. It's not about the people, it's about the donors. It's about the money for the plug. What's up, Chabe? It says, Greenland, I know I'm late, but I battled dizzy spells, migraines, and concussions. What you doing, man? What you got concussions going on? Meanwhile, Umar hugged on Dave Chappelle like a girl who paid a... I saw that. The girl that paid $1,100 to hug Chris Brown. He sure did. Look at him. Groupie. Look at him. He was so happy. Listen, I don't even think I ever seen Umar this happy. He might say, hey, Dave, can I give you $500 to give you a hug? That's wild. He's like, yeah, come on. He out Dave Chappelle. Yeah, come on. I know what you're talking about. If to get a hug from Chris Brown, yeah, that's wild. I wish my wife would pay me to give me a hug. You know what I'm saying? Make me some money. All right, thanks, Dave. Hey, listen, man, I hope you're all right, man. What you going on with the concussions, bro? That's not good. We getting older. We can't be playing around. What you doing? Playing football? You out there playing football in the street. You better cut it out. We too old for that, bro. All right. Thanks for the super chat. I hope you feel better, man. Yeah, I ain't never had no concussion. I had migraines though. Yeah, man. Seriously, I hope you feel better, bro. Make sure you take care of yourself. Thanks for the super chat, bro. College of Natural Health Sciences says, ironic that a deadbeat dad wants to be called Papa. Yeah. But Umar, the Papa thing is though, it's the Prince of Pan Africanism. He just puts it into Papa because it ties to one of his idols, which is Biggie Smalls. Remember how he said, I love it when you call me Big Papa? That's where Umar gets that from. He just took Prince of Pan Africanism. He probably saw Big Papa and he probably was looking at it and he was probably like, okay, how can I? He started rubbing on his nose. I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that. He was looking at the POPA. He was like, pancakes open. No. Prince operating. No. Prince of Pan Africanism. Yeah. And then he started calling himself Big Papa. That's Umar. He wild. All right, thanks, College of Natural Health Sciences. Okay, let's do this last part real quick, okay? Because we went way over time today because we got blowed off throughout the show, okay? Let me play this one more time just so y'all can see Umar tripping.
King Kong consciousness is coming tonight. Everything's gonna be all right. Say Big Papa, 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 Papa. Say Big Papa, 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 Papa. Say Big Papa, Papa, Papa.
What's wrong with him? And then he just stopped. He just stopped and just. No, I know. That's what it means. That's what it reminds me of. You remember Gator Star? I ain't gonna lie, that scared me when I was young. I said, damn. I said Gator started dancing. He was I said, what's that? I said, who are you up here acting like Gator if you don't stop? I said, Umar, are you related to Gator? Yeah, but this. I was just sitting Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Earl Ramsey, and Gator. I said, okay. What about Pookie? Yeah, Pookie. Oh man. Okay, let's get focused. He was tripping. Gators from what movie was that? It's a Spike Lee movie. That's what Umar looked like Gator right here. Said, what in the world is going on? Said, Umar, what's going on with you, man?
Papa, Papa, say big, Papa, Papa, Papa.
And then he just stops. All right. Oh, it was Jungle Fever? Okay. Yeah. I remember Stevie Wonder had some wonderful songs on. A lot of people ain't heard those songs. He had a couple of wonderful songs on Jungle Fever. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That one lady, she was fine to me. The Italian woman. I was like, what was the guy's name? The actor, the brother, Wesley Snipes. Yeah. Okay. Let's get refocused here. So let's do the Dave Chappelle thing real quick. All right, it's only going to take us probably about 10 minutes. We'll be up out of here. Let me get Gator off of here. Let me go ahead and get Gator off of here. Already played this
to be licensed in Delaware, and you have to be licensed in Wilmington.
And get that one out of there. Okay, so let's go with this one right here.
May of 1974. Richard.
Hold on, let me see something.
Of Richard Pryor and the brilliance of normalizing the. And the same two problems I have with Richard Pryor are the same two problems I have with David Chappelle. And the problems that Dr. Umar has with Richard Pryor and David Chappelle is that both of them normalized the N-word in American slang. David Chappelle is normalizing the N-word in American comedy. I don't like the fact that.
Listen, the N-word was normalized in the 70s. What are you talking about, Umar? You don't know your history with comedic history, with black comedy. What are you talking about? The N-word was normalized in the 70s. And who are you to talk about using the N-word? Because you just used the N-word on a Christian radio show and called the pastor an N-word twice. Hit the one. Don't make me pull up the SETI rant because I don't know how many N-bombs you dropped. One of these days, we're going to do a live stream just to cover the SETI rant, and we're going to count all of the crazy stuff you were saying when you was calling him an albino and the N-word and the P-word and all the other stuff you were saying. And we'll count it all up. First, before we do it, we'll take a poll. How many times y'all think he used the N-word in that rant? And then we're going to find out for sure. That's what we're going to do one day. You see this? He's a hypocrite. He's such a hypocrite. And I have these older videos where Umar saying we shouldn't be using that word. And, I agree we shouldn't, but I mean, we do. I don't mean nothing by it. I don't do it that much verbally in my mind. It's not even directed at black people most of the time. Can you fault me for a thought? I don't know. I have all kinds of thoughts that are inappropriate. I shouldn't. Does that mean that I'm a bad person? But Umar, you shouldn't talk because you used it all in the SETI rant. It was at least 167. But now he got to take shots at Richard Pryor, rest in peace, and Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, he's normalizing. He ain't normal. That was normalized back in the 70s. Cut it out. Richard Pryor had one of the albums. It was called "The N-Word Is Crazy." What you talking about? Don't make me bring up what's his name, my favorite comedian, because he used the N-word all the time too. Yeah, Erica, how you doing? Let me get some shout outs as we close down. Yeah, Umar, he Oswald Bates. What's up, sports bet? Derek is in the building. The D Will and Information Man. Shout out. Wayne Lamont. Joshua, your kids will see this. Yeah, I know, Shay. He don't know the history. I used to listen to Red Fox too, but Red Fox, he was too nasty. You know what I'm saying? some of the stuff he was saying with the, I said, anyway. I used to listen to Richard Pryor, was one of my favorites, but Paul Mooney, he's my favorite to this day. He be taking stuff too far. What's up, Chris? Got a little princess. Thank you so much, dear. Jim's in the building as well. KP as well. Pop, big. Thanks, David. Thanks, David. No, I can't do that. One of these days we'll watch Just a SETI rant and maybe we'll just take notes and see how many M-bombs Umar dropped. We'll take a poll to see what people think. It has to be at least, I'm gonna say at least 35 times, at least. Okay, it's probably a lot more than that, but I'll go with that. No, maybe not 35, maybe 30, 25, 30, maybe. We're gonna have to do that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he did. Richard Pryor, he did stop using it. Yeah, I mean, people could. I don't take offense to it. I really don't, because we used to use it when we was growing up. I don't take offense to it. If someone called me that today, I wouldn't take offense to it. Listen, real talk. If a white person called me, I wouldn't take offense, because I would just think, okay, they're ignorant. You know, I just wouldn't take offense to it. If it was ER, maybe a little bit, but unless they're a physical threat, I wouldn't really. It wouldn't make me no difference, because the person's gonna say what they ain't gonna do nothing. Now they want to step to me and talk that talk. Okay, that's a different thing. But just to run your mouth, well, again, but other people, they're offended by, and I get it. At least 30. Yeah, I think about 30 times, 25, 30 probably. Okay, that's why it's wild that we even thinking about that, right? Yeah, Eddie Murphy, Paul Mooney, Bernie Mac. Yeah, Bernie Mac. My children, they watch the Bernie Mac show. My younger children, they be watching it, cracking up. They be cracking up. Yeah, because I think it's on Netflix or Hulu, one of those two. They be watching it. I was shocked when they were watching, because like, y'all don't even know who that is. I said, hell yeah, but it's funny. I said, okay. Yeah, he did. Yeah, Paul Mooney, he was a genius. He's my favorite comedian. Yeah. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah. Okay. You gonna count? Paul Mooney is second favorite behind Dave. Yeah, Dave is all-time great. He's got to be in the top 5. I would put Dave in the top 5. I would put Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney, Eddie Murphy too. But the thing is, he didn't have many stand-up specials, because he got more into the movies and stuff. But I would put him in there too. I don't know. It's tough for the 5 spot. Yeah, but those 4 for sure. Yeah, there's so many other people that I would consider to put in that 5 spot. It's hard to decide. Umar. Yeah, well, yeah, we'll just put Umar in there. Yeah. Yeah, you got a point right there, X-Free, but I ain't gonna argue on that one. Okay, let's finish this up, everybody. Here we go. Which video are we looking at? Oh, it's this one right here. Here we go.
Richard Pryor and David Chappelle. Although,
yeah, but Martin, I think he only had 2 specials though, so it's hard to put him in there. Chris Rock, Chris Rock is okay. I wouldn't put him in top 5. Yeah, Robin Harris was funny with the Bebe Kids. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, Eddie Griffin, he's funny too. He used to do an imitation of Michael Jackson was just awesome. Yeah, he did. He sure did. Okay, anyway, let's go.
they were 2 of the most politically progressive comedians. Richard Pryor and David Chappelle's genius is that they use.
Yeah, who real quick while we're watching this, who would be you guys' top 5? Yeah, George Carlin, he was really good too. Who would be y'all's top 5? Just do your top 5. And no, it don't have to be in any particular order, just your top 5.
Comedy as a medium to communicate the political contradictions of white supremacy. The brilliance of Richard Pryor and the brilliance of Dave Chappelle is that they use comedy as a medium to attack the white power structure. And I salute them for that. I salute them for that. But the problem with Richard Pryor and the problem with Dave Chappelle, they have made the N-word too comfortable of a word to be used around white folks. That's number one. That's number one. Dave Chappelle, stop using the N-word, my brother. Not every day, all day. You use the N-word too much. That is a mistake, my brother.
Look who's talking, Umar. I should pull up the SETI rant, but we got to get done.
Richard Pryor made...
I'm putting my list together. Paul Mooney, Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle. I can't remember who the other person I said. Paul Mooney, Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle. Oh, Richard Pryor, of course. And someone put Mike Epps. Yeah, I like Mike Epps. I like him. He's funny to me because for whatever reason, he's funny, man. Because he just but someone brought up who did I can't remember. Well, Bernie Mac was good too. But someone brought up you guys know I'm talking. Cat Williams. I would think to put him in my top 5 too, but there's so many other people. I'm going to put Cat in here for now. Okay, let me go ahead and put it in there right here. Derek has Pryor, Bernie, Chappelle, Mooney, and Lawrence. Yeah, that's the only thing with Lawrence is that he didn't really do a lot of stand-up. I'm specifically talking about stand-up comedian because it's stand-up comedian. So that doesn't include the Martin Show, which was classic. Nah, we good. We good on that one, bro. Okay, all right, here we go. Kevin Hart's, he's not funny to me. That's just me. All right. Again, it's everyone's what they're going to see as funny is going to be different. It's very much subjective. Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney, Bill Burr, Bernie Mac. Okay, that's a good lineup. Yeah, Tommy Davidson was good. Yeah, he didn't have many stand-up specials though. Yes, I agree. Sinbad, very underrated. Yeah. I wouldn't put him in the top 5 though. Yeah, I mean, I could put Bill Cosby in there, but it's just hard for me to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because of obviously Richard Pryor, Eddie. Yeah, Bill probably would be in my top 5 without all the other stuff going on. Y'all catch my drift. But this is a good lineup here. Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Red Fox, and Damon Wayans. Yeah. Damon Wayans was on he was on Club Shay Shay, and that was a really good interview. I was inspired by that. Damon Wayans, Pryor's, Mike Epps, Bernie. Yeah, that's a really good lineup, Douglas. That's a really good one. Yeah. It reminds you of like putting together an all-time great football or basketball team, top 5, that kind of thing. Yeah, Jamie Foxx. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of that. Jamie Foxx, he could be in my top 5. I mean, I could put him in instead of Cat. You know, I could. Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, Robin Williams, Bernie Mac. Yeah, Martin. That's a good lineup too. Really good lineup. Yeah, Chris Tucker. Yeah. Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Paul Mooney, Eddie Murphy, Dave. Yeah, that's probably the lineup right there. Yeah, that's probably it right there. Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Paul Mooney, Eddie Murphy, Dave. Yeah, that's probably it right there. Yeah, Red Fox. I might substitute. Now I probably wouldn't. It's just Red Fox. He was real. You know, he was just kind of nasty. You know, a little over the top. But yeah, that's probably the top 5 right there. Yeah. I could squeeze Cat in there. I could probably squeeze Bill Cosby. It's just hard to put Bill in there. I put Mooney on tick off those who. Yeah. He wrote for a lot of people. Yeah. Kevin Hart. He did have his moments. Yeah, he did. Top 5. Robin Williams, Whoopi Goldberg, Ghostface Killer. What? Scott Steiner and Maya Rudolph. Okay. Whoopi, I used to listen to Whoopi when I was a kid. She was funny. She had a stand-up special. She didn't do enough. I don't think she did enough as a stand-up comedian. Robin Williams, obviously. See, a lot of these people got into other stuff. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Whoopi was fine in Star Trek Next Generation. Not to get sidetracked on Star Trek, but she was fine. Y'all gonna look. She played Guinan. She was fine. Anyway, not that matters. Yeah, he was funny on Def Jam. Def Jam was really funny. Sinbad, Whoopi, Chris Tucker, D-Ray, Jamie. Okay, Eddie Griffin's funny too. I don't know who Aubrey Plaza is. Varnell Hill. I don't know who that is. You see, I just know the older people. Yeah, Jim Carrey, he was funny. Yeah, he was funny too. Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield was funny, but it was more insult comedy more than anything else. Someone said Kevin Hart wife writers. Don't say that. Dave Chappelle, Bernie Mac, Ali Sadiq. Yeah, Ali Sadiq, he's very well known. I haven't listened to a lot of his stuff, but he's one of the top ones right now. Eddie Griffin, Cat, honorable mention, Arnaz J. Okay. Bernie's my favorite. Yeah, I like Bernie. We're going way back. Yeah, Paul Mooney said my top 5 is Bernie, Cat, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock. Yeah, that's a good lineup. That's a really good lineup. Chappelle, Mitch Hedberg. I don't know who that is. Greg Geraldo. I don't know who that. Patrice O'Neill. I know who that is. Nick DePaul. Yeah, I don't know 3 of those people. Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac, Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor, Patrice. Yeah, that's a good lineup too. See that 5th spot is really, you can put really, yeah, 5th, maybe even 4th spot. You can there's, it's interchangeable. You can put different people in there. Pryor, Fox, Mooney, Murphy, and Wright. Yeah, that's a good lineup too. That's a good lineup. Yeah, George Carlin. He's one of all-time greats. I don't know about Cedric. I don't know. Godfrey is funny. Okay, he's funny, and no one does impersonations like him. In my opinion, he's the best. He's the best one I've seen. There's a lot of good ones, but he is incredible. He could do Umar. He could probably do me if he listens long enough. It's a certain gift to be able to pick up that and be able to do that. It's incredible how he does that. It's you know, because there's different animals, like there's parrots that they can mimic what people say, but that's one thing. This guy, he can mimic what people say, and then he can make his voice sound like the voice inflections and everything. It's a special talent. And some of these stand-up comedians, they have different talents that extend beyond just stand-up comedy, and even impersonations. That's like another level to it. But you look at someone like Martin, he was able to play all these different roles. Another one that did that very well was Eddie Murphy. He can play different characters. Okay, not everyone can do that, right? Same thing. Not everyone could do impersonations of other people or other comedians. But Godfrey, he's a master. In my opinion, he's the best. Pryor, Patrice, Corey Holcomb, Chappelle, yeah, Cat Williams. That's a good lineup too. It's a good lineup. Check out the Paul Mooney roaster. Yeah, I already seen it. You ain't got to tell me. We're gonna leave that right there. Someone said Steve Harvey. Nah, he wasn't ever funny to me, but that's just me. Jamie Foxx is so in my top 5. I rewatch this, but yeah, and the thing about Jamie is he's talented. He's like uber talented because he can sing, he can play the piano, and not just play it. He can really play, and he can really sing. He can act. You know, he can play different roles, different characters. Yeah, he's one of the most. And I said this years ago. He's one of the most talented people I've seen. That says a lot. He's one of the most talented. They're just talented all through the roof. Yeah, you're right about that. Roddy Davis props. Yeah. Okay, let's get back. Let's finish this up. Okay. Yeah, David Allen Greer, he was good too. Yeah, he was on Hidden Colors. He was on Living Single. No, he was on you know what I'm talking about. Steve Harvey is more corny. Yeah, he's not funny to me. He's not. Gene Wilder isn't particularly funny to me either. Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Cat Williams, Michael. Yeah, that's a good lineup. Yeah. Steve Harvey had some funny shows. Yeah, he did, but he's not funny. I don't know. He's just not to me. I remember Andrew Dice Clay. I remember him. Yeah, I know. I'm getting blowed off. We got blowed off for this whole episode. Okay. All right. Let me get off this chat room. Otherwise, we'll be going on forever. Yeah, In Living Color. That was my show. A lot of the greats were on In Living Color. That's why I have a lot of respect for the Wayans brothers, especially the oldest one that kind of started all off. Phenomenal what they did. And a lot of the great comedians and actresses came through In Living Color. Even what's her name came through In Living Color. She was a dancer. A lot of people don't know that. Jennifer Lopez came through there. Yeah, there's a lot of people. What's his name? I don't even think anyone mentioned that. You know, someone mentioned Tommy Davidson. He was on Club Shay Shay too. Yeah. Yeah, Keenan Ivory Wayans. Yeah. Hidden Living Single in Color. Yeah, J-Lo came through there. David Allen Greer came through there. Rosie Perez was on there too. I had a crush on Rosie Perez when she was in that Spike Lee movie. I ain't gonna lie. I had a crush on her. Yeah, I remember Fire Marshal Bill. Yeah, I remember him. Okay, let me get back to it. I apologize, Lily. Here we go. I apologize. Here we go.
The same mistake
Yeah,
The
yeah.
second
I had a crush on Kim Coles. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie about it. She has a podcast with what's her name now, because they did Living Single, and they have a podcast, and they were on, I think it was a Breakfast Club, and what's her name? She was looking good. The one that played the lawyer, she always was fine to me though. She was fine to me. Her and Pam. But I saw her on that podcast. I said, I'm gonna have to. I can't subscribe. I can't do that. Got to respect my wife. Okay, we go.
second mistake that they both made is they married non-African women.
See, here we go. Disrespecting Dave Chappelle and disrespecting Dave Chappelle's wife, who's Filipino.
The second mistake of Richard Pryor and Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
The second mistake.
I ain't gonna lie. She one of the finest women I've ever seen. I ain't gonna lie. I listen, real talk. She one of the finest women I ever seen. Okay. You know else who's real fine that a lot of people sleep on? She was a basketball player. She played for the Los Angeles Sparks. She was really tall. She was cool with Kobe. I can't remember her name right now. She's one of the finest women that I ever done seen. Okay. Here we go.
Of Richard Pryor and Dave Chappelle is they both dedicated their life
no, not
to
Candace
a
Parker.
non-African woman.
I ain't what I'm talking about. Lisa Leslie. That's what I'm talking
issues.
about. Lisa Leslie is one of the finest women I've ever seen, period. I'm trying to tell y'all, when the WNBA first came out, I was going to try out. I was practicing my left hand and all that. I was going to try out for the league to see if I could get in there. Just plays a one-on-one stuff. But that's when I was a kid. I mean, not a kid. I was in college the first time. That's okay. But Lisa Leslie. All right. Here we go.
Of all time.
I said let me stop. Don't play one-on-one, only post up. You got to post me out no matter what. You got to post me up, Queen. Hey, all right, here we go.
Has with Richard Pryor and David Chappelle is that both of them word in American comedy. I don't like the fact that Richard Pryor and David Chappelle, although they were two of the most politically progressive comedians, Richard Pryor and David Chappelle's genius is that they use comedy as a medium to communicate the political contradictions of white supremacy.
This guy's in his mama closet. Yeah, Layla Ali, she was fine too.
Brilliance of Richard Pryor.
But she ain't on Lisa Leslie, boy.
And the brilliance of Dave Chappelle is that they use comedy as a medium to attack the white power structure. And I salute them for that.
Umar, cut it out.
I salute them for that. But the problem with Richard Pryor and the problem with Dave Chappelle, they have made the N-word too comfortable of a word to be used around white folks. That's number one. That's number one. Dave Chappelle, stop using the N-word, my brother. Not every day, all day. You use the N-word too much. That is a mistake, my brother. Richard Pryor made the same mistake. The second mistake that they both made is they married non-African women. The second mistake of Richard Pryor and Dave Chappelle. The second mistake of Richard Pryor and Dave Chappelle is they both dedicated their life to a non-African woman. Those are my issues. I'm not going to throw out the baby with the bathwater. I'm not going to throw out the baby with the bathwater. I'm not going to throw out the baby with the bathwater. But popularizing the N-word and marrying a non-African woman makes it difficult for me to hold those brothers up as role models for our children. I'm just being honest. It would be difficult for me to hang up Richard Pryor's photo or David Chappelle's photo in the school. I will teach about them because they are Black history. Our children will learn about them and their contributions because they made a good contribution. But I can't hang them up in the school because of your popularization of the N-word in your Snow Bunny crisis.
Damn.
In your Snow Bunny crisis. On June 15th.
Inside his mama closet. Here's the other one.
Man, Dave Chappelle's wife is Asian.
That's family. Umar just racist. I can't rock with him. You talk all this unity and then you can't love your brother based on who he loves. I didn't say I didn't love my brother. I never said I didn't love my brother. I said his picture will not go on the wall in this school. His picture will not go on the wall in this school because he is a bunny hopper. No snow, no rice, no sand, no salsa. No snow, no rice, no sand, no salsa. No snow, no rice, no sand. Shout out to my Puerto Rican Africans. Hey, let me read some Breakfast Club comments. Let me read some Breakfast Club comments.
By the way, there's a lot of Black and Filipino celebrities that people call Black. They don't discriminate like that, like Umar. Her, H-E-R, she Black and Filipino. Naomi Osaka is Black and Japanese, not Filipino, but there's still, you know, I'm just looking right here, but there's quite a few people. But anyway, Umar, he's gonna disrespect Dave Chappelle and Dave Chappelle's wife. There's one more here, but I don't know. I don't know the timestamp on this. Let me.
Dave Chappelle. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. I salute my brother for being unapologetically African.
Anyway, this video is long. We got to finish up here. But he decided Mama Claus in that musty, dusty chair. All right. So the point I'm going to make here during this live stream, even though we've been all around the way and I've gone off and got blowed off, is that Umar, he will take shots at these celebrities, Black male celebrities who are far more successful than he is. Again, he's homeless, been homeless since 2019, literally. He hasn't worked a job since 2010, 2011. He's been scamming on the school scam, and he's raised millions of dollars, and yet he's telling people that he hasn't raised at least $1 million yet, with no school in sight. He's a deadbeat. He don't take care of his kids. He's a baby mama creator. And the list goes on and on and on. He doesn't have his own vehicle. He rents cars with other people's money who send him money for the school. He got a substance abuse issue. He likes to gamble, etc. The list goes on and on and on. And yet he wants to attack Dave Chappelle, who's highly successful, probably one of the most successful comedians of all time. But then when Umar meets Dave Chappelle, what does he do? It just goes to show you that, you know, Umar, he will talk all that mess online, but when it comes to the real world, he's cheesing. Umar's not married. Dave Chappelle is. And I guarantee you their children are pretty, beautiful children. I guarantee you. Beautiful, because Dave Chappelle's wife, she real pretty. Filipino woman. Look at that. Umar ain't got no wife. He got a wife. Dave Chappelle take care of he's in his children's life. He's in his wife's life. Umar ain't in his children's life. He ain't even got a wife. And then look at this right here. You know? Yeah, Tiger Woods, he says he's Canadian Asian. I think his dad is Black and his mama is I can't remember, but it's in that area. It's west of the Philippines. Yeah. This goes to show you what type of person Umar is. All right, let me go ahead and do this poll. I'm gonna close this poll out and we'll be up out of here for today. I don't think I'll be live streaming tomorrow because we did a lot this week already. This live stream went on for a long time. I'll see tomorrow, see how things go. Okay, the poll question is, what did Umar Johnson do when he met Dave Chappelle? He called Dave a bunny hopper. Did he call Dave's wife a rice bunny, or he smiled like a $2 groupie? All right. Is she? Yeah, he says Catholic Asian, something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, his mom is Thai. Thai. Yeah, Thai. Is she still alive? I know his dad passed away. Rest in peace. But I can't remember if she's alive. Still alive or not. But she's Thai. Okay, so let me give you guys the final tally on the poll question. We had 1,027 votes. What did Umar Johnson do when he met Dave Chappelle? 11% said he called Dave a bunny hopper, which he did in the video. 19% said he called his wife a rice bunny. He insinuated that inside the video. And then 70% said he smiled like a $2 groupie. That's what I'm going to put, because I haven't seen Umar smile like this ever. And he's embracing with the two hands. I'll say, you violating. Oh, she's Taiwanese or Thai? Which one? Oh, yeah, okay. Rest in peace. Because that's why it came to mind. I thought I remembered that. Let me look that up real quick, and then we won't be up out of here. Yeah, because I thought I remembered this. Yeah, you're right. In February. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, to his mama. Yeah, rest in peace. She was 78. Yeah. Clotilda Woods. That's Tiger Woods' mama. All right. Okay, I want to thank everyone for tuning on in. This was a different type of a live stream, but we got through it. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. I want to thank everyone who sent in super chats during the live stream. Big Papa, you mean Pan African Pancake Papa? Yeah. Big Papa. Okay. Thanks everyone who sent in super chats. Thanks to the Miles for handling business. I appreciate it. What's up, Ed? Thanks for tuning on in. Dave checked to make sure he still had his wallet out. Yeah, he was like, all right. We'll be back soon. I don't know if I'm gonna live stream tomorrow, but I'll have it set up in the morning time if I do. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed the live stream and you haven't hit that like button, go on and hit that like button before you exit out of the building. Okay. Thank you guys so much again for tuning on in. Cookie Crush Chat is undefeated. And as we always do.
Oh my gosh, so you're fancy, huh?
Yeah, Black community activist. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Well, good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See your eyes shine, she's my soul burning peace. In the winter light, so she's my sweet dust of cream. Talk to my nose, this lover's got is so raw. Make you lose, stepping out of control. It's me against the light, snow burning, moving on the floor. Everything's alright.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Chavis. Hope you're feeling better, bro. Make sure you take care of yourself. Thanks, Erica. Good night to you as well. Yeah, you're right about that. Thanks, last call. Oh, you're so welcome, brother. Thanks for tuning on in. Salute. John's in the building. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sports Bet. Appreciate you. Thanks, Jim. I can get his groove on. Thanks, Malika. Sharif. Thanks, D, for tuning on in. And Zane. Sierra Rendell. Thanks, Erica. Thanks, Black Mark, for tuning on in. Yeah, peace. Bips and ball step. Yeah, Umar getting it. He's getting it in. Patrick.
She wants cookies.
Yeah.
Crush.
Yeah, Derek. That's a fact. Thanks, James. Salute. Yeah, enjoy your evening. Your kids will see this. Julia, Joshua. Good night to you, last all the black man. Oh, you so welcome, bro. Thanks, Starstone. The Luke Star, Dr. Saving, Star Stone, Global Corp. Thanks, Jake, for tuning on me. Oh, you so welcome. Yeah, let's go. Y'all crazy. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. It's a little inappropriate. He said, "Has anyone ever said you look like Overton from Flip Siegel?" Yeah. Also, Kia Pale. I don't know which one it is. I think it's a bunch of foolishness, to be quite honest with you. All right. All right. Thanks, Jimmy Jamboree. Thank y'all for tuning on in. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. We may be back tomorrow. We may not. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'll figure it out. Thanks, KP, for tuning on in. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. All right. Okay. Love y'all. Take care. Peace.